Follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
You're heading to Knoxville to take on a team that hasn't lost at home all season long. Now, we know Thompson-Boling Arena isn't as intimidating as an atmosphere as Bud Walton Arena, but this is not going to be an easy game for the Arkansas Razorbacks. You're trying to win 15 of 16 if you can beat Rick Barnes' team, but they're going to be ready for you. You've already beat them once, 58-48 in a grind game, and now they're trying to do the same thing and get a little revenge against you tomorrow. We're going to talk a lot about that. Clay Henry, the publisher of Hogs Illustrated, is going to join us at 7. Dane Bradshaw, SEC Network analyst and former Tennessee guard, is going to be joining us at 8. Also hear from Eric Musselman this morning, his thoughts on this game. Some more thoughts on the net rankings. Him and his wife had a conversation, which I thought was pretty funny. Plus, it's National Waltz Day, so we'll talk about the dances from Tommy's generation, Clay's generation, our generation, and some of the dances that are going on right now, because they have definitely changed over the years, Tommy, here on a Fast Break Friday.
We're going to go line dancing this morning. All right, so we'll get after it. Hey, we're brought to you by Pradco. You know, the original Smithwick original suspending Rattling Rogue has been in tackle boxes for over 100 years. You need to take along this Rogue because whether you're going to Beaver Lake or Table Rock or Ouachita, or you're going to try to catch one of those big browns in the White River this weekend, it's going to be a good weekend for fishing. This Rogue will suspend and stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Find one at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops all over the place. It's the Smithwick original suspending Rattling Rogue.
We could point out several games that have been highly difficult for Arkansas this year. Going on the road, beating LSU, beating them again on Wednesday night after they really wanted to get you back. Hosting and beating both Auburn, Tennessee, and Kentucky. But to me, this is the most difficult place you played all season. You're walking into an environment where they want to beat you and give you a little bit back after you beat them earlier in Bud Walton this season. There's a checker out. The good thing is it's 12 o'clock over there in Knoxville, 11 o'clock Central Time here all over Arkansas. So at least it's a little early, so I don't know if every fan will be butts in seats by the time the game gets going. But I'll tell you what, they're going to be ready for you. And so Arkansas better be ready as well, Tommy.
You know, we've talked about this record with the top 4 teams. I guess it's at least 65-1 now because Arkansas won the other night. Maybe it's 66-1. But the point is none of the top teams are losing very often at home. And Tennessee is not, Kentucky's not, Auburn's not. And it's a big weekend for that. So I think you got to keep it in perspective to understand what Arkansas is up against. And while you expect the Razorbacks to win every game they get in, understand you're walking into a place that's going to be as difficult as Bud Walton this weekend in many ways. So it's going to be a good test for Arkansas. A lot of people have criticized the top of the SEC as teams that, including Arkansas, that can't win on the road. So this would be a big check in your favor with the committee, I would think. I don't think it moves you a line or anything like that, but it would maybe give you maybe half a seed if it came down to a conversation between one team or the other around that 4-seed line.
See, to me it does, Tommy. You beat Tennessee twice. They're a 3-seed by most accounts. I don't know how you don't move in front of them at that point in time. If you beat them twice head-to-head, you'd be ahead of them in the conference standings. I don't know how you wouldn't basically trade places at that point in time. Now, I could be wrong. You beat them, again, the net ranking, they still have a higher net ranking than you, but so does LSU, and you beat them twice. And what it seems to me is while the selection committee is going to account for the net rankings, AP poll and some other stuff, I think that just the way Arkansas is playing, I don't know. I don't feel great about their chances going in there tomorrow and dethroning Tennessee for the first time all season in Thompson-Boling Arena. But if they do, I very do much think that we'll see come Sunday or come Monday, whenever those next bracketology lines come out, you'll see, I think, Arkansas ahead of Tennessee. I think you'll flip them. Tennessee will be a 4-seed and Arkansas will be a 3.
I mean, Arkansas, in a lot of estimations, is right there at a 4-seed already. But we're looking at it from the Razorback perspective. It's also a big game for seeding. If Arkansas wins this game, they lock up the 2 seed. So even despite what Kentucky does, so despite what Auburn does, and there's still a chance you could share the regular season conference title if Auburn loses. That's probably not real likely with them playing at home against South Carolina. We were just talking about tough places to win on the road. Auburn's maybe as tough as there is this year. So it's going to be a fun weekend. And the thing about it is, SEC basketball has not often come down in the last 5 or so years, 10 years, to the last weekend, the last playing date for so many things at the top and the middle of the conference. This is a huge weekend for a lot of teams.
And it usually was Kentucky and everyone else, but we've seen that Kentucky has faced opposition from Arkansas, from Tennessee, from Auburn, from Florida. So it's fun to see a more balanced top of the league, and I think Greg Sankey and his team are probably thrilled about that because they feel like that there's multiple teams that could represent this league in a Final Four. I think there's 4 teams very well. I think Arkansas and the 3 others that we talk about. Now, again, I want to see more of what the Razorbacks can do tomorrow on the road in Knoxville, and I'll have a better grasp, a better feel if this team can make it all the way to the Final Four. But I think the SEC commissioner feels like that there are 4, maybe 5 teams, probably more 4 than anything, that could wind up in New Orleans for the Final Four this year. I think he is ecstatic, along with the rest of his team, about that because it creates a balance that you love to have in this league.
Well, and it also means that, football, which is for so long dominated the SEC conversation, it's still dominant, but it's not so overwhelming. It took all the air out of the room in this league for, from, late 90s, early 2000s till, 4 or 5 years ago when the league really made a strong commitment to basketball. And I think they're finally starting to see the dividend of paying coaches, hiring the coaches. This has been the best year in a long time for SEC basketball because it's just not Kentucky and maybe one other team, Kentucky maybe 2 other teams. Like you said, there's 4 real contenders to be at least around for a second weekend and maybe further.
I would expect in this game tomorrow that Rick Barnes kind of has a similar game plan that Will Wade did and double-team J.D. Mote every chance he got. Arkansas's offense did not flow as well as it has in certain games when they did that, and J.D. looked like he got frustrated at times. Jackson, uncharacteristic shots that I think he and both Eric Musselman were disappointed in. So I think Rick Barnes is going to look and take away. We're getting more what Eric Musselman said. Arkansas has had a lot less time than Tennessee has to get ready for this game. The good thing is that Eric Musselman and his team are really good at kind of turning over and moving on to the next step. But Tennessee has an advantage of this game, not just being at home. They played on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. So Arkansas's got to come prepared because I think Tennessee's going to open up this game and hit them out in the mouth a little bit. And I think in this game, you're not going to see Jalen Williams get some of these calls that maybe he's been afforded in Bud Walton Arena, especially since Rick Barnes went off on the officiating post-game last time. So there are going to be some calls. There are going to be some things that go against you tomorrow. You have to respond. You have to rally. Otherwise, you're not going to get it done. You're not going to break this streak in Thompson-Boling Arena.
All right, a lot to get to on a Fast Break Friday. Dane Bradshaw joins us later in the show. Clay Henry will be along for the final 2 hours. It's all brought to you by Farm Credit. In addition to farms, livestock, and homes, Farm Credit can help you finance recreational land. They have a new loan product that makes financing all sizes of hunting tracts quick and easy. They understand that hunting, fishing, turkey season coming up, hey, it's really important to what we do here in the natural state, and Farm Credit wants to help you keep land and recreational fun in your family for generations to come. Stop in your local Farm Credit office. Let them help you finance that hunting land you've always wanted before the next deer or turkey season roll around. Go to myaglender.com for more details and find a location near you. That's myaglender.com.
Got some headlines to get to this morning, which we will do that, including Arkansas taking on Southeastern Louisiana this weekend. We'll talk about Traylon Burks and his combine numbers a little bit, plus a familiar name making his way to Arkansas this weekend, but the younger brother of Ronnie Winga. We'll talk about that. But coming up, want to hear some thoughts from Eric Musselman this game, just kind of what he's feeling right now with this basketball team.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
Hey, everybody, this is Freddie Coleman of Freddie and Fitzsimmons of ESPN Radio, and you are listening to The Morning Rush.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hey, Jan. Say, is now a good time for a new Toyota?
You bet it is. Now through April 4th is the perfect time to shop for a RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma, Corolla, and more.
Amazing. I was just thinking of a RAV4.
Well, imagine yourself in a RAV4. Where would you go first?
Okay, I've just got my RAV4. I am picking up my friends and going out to lunch to celebrate.
Perfect. A bistro? A deli?
Skinny Al's Barbecue.
Whoa, okay. I love barbecue.
Huh. Well, then you should imagine yourself digging into the best ribs you've ever...
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
The phrase in dire straits originated in the 1400s from sailors having to carefully navigate their vessels through narrow passages to avoid a shipwreck. So Far Away from Dire Straits is a song lamenting the struggle of a long-distance relationship over the phone. Mark Knopfler said, "It's a joke. It can't really be done over a long period of time because you both get exhausted with it. Sin has put us in dire straits with God, and that's why he feels so far away." Jesus said the passage to God is a narrow way, and he promised when he went so far away, the Holy Spirit would be here to stay. This isn't some hunch or intuition, but a conviction navigating you to God's holy word. When you have a real relationship with God, you have the person of the Spirit living inside you, guiding your walk of life every step of the way. Don't trust your feelings. Look up John chapter 16 and see if it sends you reeling. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Read about it.
Football might be over this season, but basketball is in full steam for both pros and college hoops. For all the latest odds, totals, player performance props, to where the next fired coach is going to land, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your sports betting needs. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's promo code BLEAV. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline is your source for hockey, boxing, and UFC odds, right to the Olympic coverage, is the best in the business. From sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, BetOnline is your #1 online wagering destination. BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports and play your favorite games. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration is a properly licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Brother Alexander has over 25 years of experience in home insurance adjusting and residential roofing. Let Brother come do a free inspection of your roof. He'll give you a complete analysis of your roof and work with your insurance company if it needs to be replaced. So call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother to inspect your roof.
Let Carco Car Sales, formerly Hertz Car Sales, show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car. Carco Auto Sales has been serving the River Valley in eastern Oklahoma for over 40 years and believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating people right. The friendly and knowledgeable staff is here to help you find the car you deserve, priced right to fit your budget, so you can leave with a peace of mind knowing that you are getting a quality, well-maintained vehicle. Come see the team at Carco Auto Sales, formerly Hertz Car Sales, at 2810 Midland Boulevard today. Give them a call at 783-1722 or check them out at buyfromcarco.com. Carco Auto Sales, when you're ready.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Gators out of there with it, and then Wade took it away from him. Trey gives it to Note, top of the key, three-pointer good.
Have you listened to Trusting the Process on the Hit That Line podcast network yet? Check it out on hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
One of the things Eric Musselman is known for since arriving at Arkansas is his preparation, but it's kind of been difficult with this stretch with the game ending late on Wednesday night, Tennessee playing on Tuesday, and getting ready for the Vols is something that he's been talking about. I want to share what he had to say yesterday. If you want to listen to the full press conference, you can find it on hitthatline.com and our YouTube channel as well, Tommy.
Hey, the madness is already cranking up, and Burton Pools and Spas wants to get in on that with some Doughboy above-ground pool savings this month. In fact, in-house, they've got $900 in savings on select Doughboy above-ground pools. They can have those ready to go in a matter of weeks, so your summer can be off to the great start you are envisioning right now. Plus, cash and carry savings. You got Doughboy above-ground pools. You can pick them up and install them starting this weekend for less than $2,000 at $19.95. Also ask about semi-in-ground pools. Right now they've got a free upgrade to a robotic cleaner. That's a $600 value. They'll add it to your package for free right now. Payments start as low as $87 a month on Doughboy Pools. It's a month of madness going on now at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com.
All right, here's what he said yesterday on, again, game planning and prepping for Tennessee.
All you have to do is look at the minutes that our guys played last night, and then look that we're traveling, and then there's an hour time change. I mean, you put it all together. We could play a back-to-back and have more prep time, than this, because we just are not going to have much prep time. And I haven't said that in 3 years. This is the first time that I felt like, we're really going to be crunched with time, because even something as little as a time change, losing, an hour, that affects you as well. But in the NBA sometimes, or the G League, there's so many scheduling disadvantages that it becomes second nature to you. So there's no excuses at all.
Tommy, see Lou Holtzen, Arkansas fans heading into tomorrow. We don't have much prep. We're not going to be ready. Blah blah. Is that what he's trying to do? Is it just one of those things where he's genuinely that kind of nervous about their lack of time that they have to get ready for a team that hasn't lost at home all season long? What are you picking up from us yesterday?
It's you've just come through late February. Now you're the first week of March. It is a grind right now, and everybody's physically tired and worn out. The coaches are tired of looking at a laptop and a screen and breaking down film. They're tired of practice plans. Right now, how much practice are you really getting in at this point in the season, because you want to save the legs of the guys? I think it's just some of the realities he's facing here, but everybody's in this grind. Players are tired of coaches are tired of players, and everybody's tired of the referees right now. So it's just tough, but in the travel aspect of it adds to the difficulty. But I think he's just laying out some realities and the frustrations of what goes along when you're mentally and physically exhausted at this point. But you get to the tournament, and it's amazing. You get to postseason, or you can sniff it, and that adrenaline shot just kind of kicks in. So I think they're right there right now. But these games are so important, I think they'll be ready to go.
It's 6:18 here on a Fast Break Friday. Maybe your opinion changes right before we end this show. I don't feel like Arkansas is going to win this game tomorrow, not based on how they've been playing, because we know they've been playing really good, but it's just the tenacity that Tennessee plays with at home. How do you feel currently about this game in Knoxville tomorrow?
Well, I was describing there was the word reality. I think the reality is winning on the road in this league is darn near impossible with those top four teams. Vandy's the only one that's been able to do it when Arkansas wasn't playing well. So,
65-1. That's the new record.
Right. Just look at the track record right now, and you're going to make it 60-2 after tomorrow's games. I'm assuming Auburn will win, and that Kentucky game's at Florida, right? So
correct.
I guess it could go to 66-2 if Arkansas can, unlock the combination here to winning on the road. Yeah, it's steep and uphill. I think it would be hard to say you expect Arkansas to win, but I don't say you're playing with house money at this point, but you've put yourself in a good position regardless of the outcome of this one game. Your season does not hang in the balance. The tournament hopes do not hang in the balance for this one game, and that's that's a tribute to how well Arkansas has played over the last 15 games.
And I don't know if they would drop much off a seed line if they ended up losing this game. And I know Lenardi and Palm and all those guys, their opinions, they're very sourced opinions, but they're not 100% factual. We'll have to wait and see until actually not this upcoming Sunday, but the following upcoming Sunday, where Arkansas is going to wind up, not only where they're playing, but what seeding they are. And the good thing is also, we've talked about, regardless of what happens, the outcome of Knoxville tomorrow, you still have a top 4 seed. Now, I think this is correct. I think the 4 seed plays at 3 o'clock. I can't remember if that's Eastern or Central. And then the 2 seed plays at 5 Central and 6 o'clock Eastern. And I don't know. I was looking at the tiebreaker scenarios yesterday, Tommy. So what would likely happen is if Arkansas was to lose tomorrow, Tennessee would again be 1 game above Arkansas. Kentucky, I don't think, is going to lose against Florida, so you'd wind up as the 4 seed. Now, if you won, you're the automatic 2 seed regardless of what happens to Kentucky because you have that head-to-head. And either way, you're sitting pretty not having to play till Friday when 10 other teams, because there's 14 teams in the league, 10 other teams have to play on Wednesday and Thursday while you're just kind of chilling in Tampa for a bit.
Yeah, some teams will start. The first games begin Wednesday night at 5 o'clock Central as the 12 and the 13 seed. Ooh, who wants to watch some of that? And then the 11 plays the 14 following that. So you're right. For some of those teams, it's almost impossible to make that kind of run all the way through the weekend. But we'll see what happens. But, yeah, Arkansas gets to sit back and watch the other 10 teams in the league play. And like you said, when you look, the 2 seed plays at 5 o'clock on Friday, and the 3 seed plays at 7 o'clock on Friday, or the last game of the day. So I think it's going to be almost impossible to think you could get the 1 seed. I just don't see Auburn relinquishing that, losing at home, knowing that's what's on the line. We may not think it's as big a deal, but trust me, these regular season titles matter to coaches and players.
And they won it. And Arkansas hasn't had one since '94. Think about that. It's been that long. Last time you won a national championship, haven't won an SEC tournament championship since 2000. I don't know what Muss's philosophy on it is. I know that DVH and co., they won their first one ever this past year since he's been head coach, and it didn't seem to matter because they got bounced in the super regionals in Fayetteville. I don't know if Muss has a different approach or a different idea of what this could mean to this program. I just think that you got to at least win 1 game in Tampa next week. If you lose in the semifinals, not as big of a deal because you're going to face some stout competition in that second game. Not even to say that you won't face in the first, too.
Yeah, so this is a big weekend. I think Arkansas can certainly get themselves around to that 2 seed line. We'll just, but you got to win. I mean, it's all about getting it done this weekend. Hey, one way to get it done for March Madness is to have your TV situation ready to go. Call World of Wireless right now. They compare high-speed internet with your Hopper 3 system from Dish. Dish is less than $90 a month for 3 TVs in the house, and you get all your favorite channels. You can record up to 16 shows or movies or programs at one time. Plus, with Sling built in, you can watch TV on the go anywhere you're at. Get a $100 Visa gift card, free installation, free upgraded remotes to the voice-activated remotes, all when you call WOW now for this weekend. 877-305-DISH for WOW World of Wireless.
When we come back, some headlines, including Ronnie Ringo's younger brother coming to Fayetteville this weekend.
Even though you try to be, Ty, you just can't quite get there.
Well, I just probably can't get there. But you shouldn't try either.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
March Madness is here, and Burton Pools and Spas has all the savings you need to make your summer a success. Doughboy Above Ground Pools in-stock select packages up to $900 off. Cash and carry savings start at $19.95. Ask Burton staff about low-interest financing and payments as low as $87 a month on Doughboy Above Ground Pools. Burton Pools and Spas, making your backyard dreams come true in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hey, Jan. Say, is now a good time for a new Toyota?
You bet it is. Now through April 4th is the perfect time to shop for a RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma, Corolla, and more.
Amazing. I was just thinking of a RAV4.
Well, imagine yourself in a RAV4. Where would you go first?
Okay, I've just got my RAV4. I am picking up my friends and going out to lunch to celebrate.
Perfect. A bistro? A deli?
Skinny Al's Barbecue.
Whoa, okay. I love barbecue.
Huh. Well, then you should imagine yourself digging into the best ribs you've ever tasted.
I'm imagining you inviting me.
My imaginary self thought you'd never ask.
Let your imagination run wild at your participating Toyota dealer. Whether you're imagining yourself in a sporty Camry, versatile Highlander, or the spacious Venza, now's the time to ready, set, go get your Toyota today. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
It is here, fast, reliable internet from Wave Rural Connect. Cedarville, Uniontown, Natural Dam, and surrounding areas get fast fiber internet, TV, and phone service from a local provider you can trust based in Ozark, Arkansas. Internet starts at $49.95 a month, TV at $43.99, and phone at $29.95. Order now at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Do it now. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
COVID-19 cases are spreading across the state. Safe, effective, and free COVID vaccines are now readily available for all Arkansans ages 5 and up. Booster shots are also available for fully vaccinated people 12 and above. The vaccines are highly effective at preventing severe COVID. That means helping keep you from being hospitalized or even dying. Get vaccinated to protect yourself, your family, and your community. Learn more at healthy.arkansas.gov. This message brought to you by the Arkansas Department of Health.
It's time to stop searching and start driving. Between February 16th and March 7th, get $70 reward card or virtual account after online submission. With the purchase of 4 new Michelin passenger or light truck tires, including the Michelin Cross Climate 2 tire. See MichelinMan.com for complete details. Offer expires March 7th, 2022. Void where prohibited.
Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith today for quality tires and the best-in-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin and Southern Tire Mart.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Did you know that sometimes roof damage goes unnoticed? Have you seen a few houses in your neighborhood get new roofs in the past couple of years? It could be that your roof has damage. Brothers Roofing and Restoration is a properly licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Brother Alexander has over 25 years of experience in home insurance adjusting and residential roofing. Let Brother come do a free inspection of your roof. He'll give you a complete analysis of your roof and work with your insurance company if it needs to be replaced. So call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother to inspect your roof.
It's time to get in the game, Fort Smith. Hi, Coach Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I'm a maniac for March basketball, but if I'm going to catch all the games, I need your help. So I've cooked up a 3-point plan to help you rebound from your old ride. 1, pick the perfect car for you from our huge inventory of Rath Road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. 2, pass me your old ride. 3, I'll come in with the assist and give you up to $3,300 more than appraised value. So if your old ride makes you feel second string, slam dunk your junk and start driving better today in a nicer, newer car from Rath Auto Resources. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for spring in our Meineke Car Care Center with a free AC check, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. But hurry, this deal's done at the buzzer. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price determines actual trade allowance. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends March 31st, 2022.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
JD Dribbles out front, guarded by Kawasi Reeves, crosses him over, takes him to the foul line. Floater good, and one.
Did you miss a segment or interview during the show? Find it in the Bud Light Next Morning Rush podcast. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
You need a big Stanley Amude road game tonight. He has had some of his best performances outside of Bud Walton Arena. He had one of his best games this past Wednesday night against LSU with J.D. Notae getting hounded by double teams and triple teams even in time. And you'd love him to expand on that game against the Tigers, against the Vols tomorrow. Going to talk more about him and this team coming up.
Hey, a great place to get by and maybe watch the game on Saturday, or maybe go to some baseball games and slide by Sassy's Red House or Sassy's Barbecue and Grill before or after some baseball this weekend. It's the place for hungry baseball and basketball fans. Try their award-winning smoked wings, the tender brisket, the great pulled pork, the awesome side items, and TVs everywhere at Sassy's Barbecue and Grill. You can find the original Red House. They got TVs all around, plus a great patio. It's patio season. They're on North College, and Sassy's Barbecue and Grill on Steamboat Drive, just off the Weddington exit in Fayetteville. Eat, drink, and be sassy.
Felt like this team settled for some threes early in that LSU game that you're not typically accustomed to seeing. This is a team that gets to the rack, that gets to the paint, and they did that much more, it seemed like, in the second half. Against Tennessee, who is a really, really good defensive team. They are top, I think, 15 or 10 in the country. I'm pulling up KenPom real quick. But, Tommy, it's not going to be easy sledding whatsoever tomorrow. I could very easily see this being a similar game. It was 58-48 the last time these two teams met on the hardwood. I could see a similar grinded-out game tomorrow. Arkansas can't get discouraged if the shots aren't falling because Tennessee is just, they hound you all game long. And I think they're going to get after Notae a little bit too, like LSU.
Well, I think that game, I don't have the Tennessee box from last time in front of me. I think it's tied at 24 or something. It's mid-20s, I remember, and just a slobber knocker kind of game. So I'm expecting much of the same. But if they double team, triple team Notae, which is not a bad idea, you're going to have a Mude or Tony or and Jalen Williams is another guy you look to. Get open and when they are open, make shots. I mean, it's simple math. If someone's being double teamed, someone else is wide open. So that's what happened on the night. And the more you can pull Notae up, if they double team him further out, that's going to open up some room underneath the basket. So I think while Arkansas, as we were talking about in the last segment, may have some limited time for preparation, there was in-game adjustments the other night with what they were doing Notae to free up some other guys. Give Muss a few more hours to work on that, and they'll have some great in-game adjustments in addition to what they did the other night worked out.
Yeah, and there's some guys that are playing a little bit better. Kenny Chandler won SEC Freshman of the Week last week. Didn't have a great game against Arkansas. Santiago Vescovi, did not shoot well at all against the Razorbacks. I want to say he went 1 for 9 from the three-point line. They're going to shoot it better in Knoxville tomorrow inside of Thompson-Boling Arena. And you have to be able to respond to that. And you have to, again, it's a game of runs. We know college basketball is. Tennessee is going to make them tomorrow, and you have to be able to weather that storm. And despite, again, you've gotten some things go your way inside of Bud Walton Arena. The opposite is going to happen tomorrow. It just always seems to happen for the road team. And how this team responds, like they did against LSU earlier this year, like they've done against some other teams, not just at home but on the road, that's going to be pivotal if you want to get 15-16 as of tomorrow at about 1:15 or so.
And, everybody says, well, you get this at home. I think you get more confidence when you're at home. You don't have to travel, and some of the things Muss laid out in that soundbite we played earlier. But I think there's also just the fact that you're a little more confident when you're on your own turf. So I think that is just part of the mental game that everybody has to deal with this time of year.
Tennessee wants to prove that Thompson-Boling Arena is one of the best premier venues in all of college basketball. Bud Walton Arena has done that already this year. And to be fair and to give credit, Tennessee has done that, beating the likes of Auburn, beating the likes of Kentucky at home. But we know that Bud Walton's still the best in the league, but Tennessee's like, no, we've got something good cooking over here, and how you do that and how you showcase that is you beat a team that's won 13 of the last 14 games. And, again, you want to extend that to – I say 13, 14. I keep getting that streak. Is it 13 or 14 or 14 or 15?
I think it's 14 or 15 now
so
after the other night.
You want to beat
a bunch. Whatever it is, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's that. I think you're right. Drew just gave you the thumbs up, and I think that's right. You want to – if you're Tennessee and Rick Barnes, not only do you want revenge, which is best served cold, you want to eliminate that – hype that's been surrounding Arkansas the last couple of weeks. And how you do that is you beat these guys. Will you be able to? I'm giving the edge to Tennessee at this point in time. Maybe my opinion changes in an hour and a half as we get into the 8 o'clock hour, but Arkansas has knocked off teams that have streaks against them this year, i.e. Florida, i.e. Kentucky. You were close to beating Mississippi State, at least in the first half, but you hadn't beat one of the hump dumps since I think it was 2015. So this team has shown that just because there's a long losing streak or a history of not a great record against the opponent, that doesn't mean they can't win. But it's recent for Tennessee being what they've done at home this year. And at this point in time, I'm not willing to go out on a limb and say that Arkansas is going to win this basketball game just yet.
That's what we said. And I would just enter. What would change in the next hour and a half that would change your opinion? That would be interesting to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, I was just checking, see if there was some new information you knew might be coming out. But I'm with you. I mean, tough place to win doesn't mean that Arkansas can't. But you're going to have to really, we talk about in football, well, the other team needs to turn it over, and in basketball, the other team needs to not make shots, miss free throws, and be wild with the basketball. I mean, Tennessee's not going to have to not play like themselves in order for Arkansas to have a good chance. The road environments at the top of this league are tough, and it doesn't change just because Arkansas is playing in the game. So. I'm with you. I expect tough sledding tomorrow in Knoxville.
It's not going to be a game where Arkansas, if they shoot the ball poorly, are going to win. I can't see that happening tomorrow. And what we brought up earlier, Tennessee, on most accounts, is a 3 seed. Joe Lenardi and others have him on that slide. Arkansas is a 4. If you beat them head-to-head twice, and then you also are the second-best team in the league, tied with Kentucky, who you've had head-to-head, I would expect come Monday or Tuesday or Sunday, whenever Lenardi's stuff and other people's stuff come out, they're going to probably move Tennessee to that 4 slot, and they're going to move Arkansas to the 3 slot. I don't know how they won't. I think you'll see Eric Musselman hasn't been too happy about these net rankings as of late, and if somehow, some way, they don't move. And I just don't understand it. Like with LSU, the net where they are, and I guess Arkansas, the non-conference opponents that they initially paid, maybe Ruda missed on a couple of them. They thought he was going to be better. And because what did you say the other day? That Alabama does not have a single quad 4 opponent, and Arkansas had 7. Is that right? I think that's what you said the other day.
Arkansas's strength of schedule in non-conference is like 241 in the country or something like that. So, I mean, one of the things holding Arkansas back is the lack of strength in their non-conference schedule. And then losing to Hofstra has not helped. So there's some things in Arkansas's – I mean, if you want to explain the metrics, if someone that could sit down and get inside the algorithms and explain how they work could probably do a better job of laying it out. But, I mean, Arkansas's non-conference schedule just hasn't held up this year, and that's what's keeping them from probably being in the top 15 of the net right now.
I think it's difficult for Arkansas to schedule home-and-home games. The only way the Razorbacks can play some premier non-conference opponent is in tournaments. I know they're going to Maui next year, or in these little things like the Kansas City Classic or the College Classic where they played Cincinnati. They also played Kansas State. They played Kansas State first game, right? I think that's
Kansas
right.
State and Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think that's right. So that being said, you're watching that atmosphere on TV. You think John Shire and Duke are going to ever want to come play in Bud Walton Arena? You think Bill Self is going to want to schedule a non-conference game? You think Mick Cronin out at UCLA is like, man, I want to go play these guys at Bud Walton Arena? They're watching this. They're watching these games. Like, and I know they got their own thing going on, but like, that's not one of those things. I'm a head coach, and I'm trying to schedule this home and home inside that place. Even if I get them in Pauley Pavilion, even if I get them in Cameron Indoor, even if I get them in Allen Fieldhouse, I don't want to have to go to Bud Walton Arena. I don't want to have to do that. So I think it's difficult. And I don't know this for a fact. That's a better question for Anthony Ruda, because he seems to be the one that Muss always talks about when it comes to scheduling. But I think there's kind of a reason, Tommy, you don't see many high-profile non-conference opponents that play home and home, and maybe that's more just a football thing than anything. But I think there's a reason you don't see a lot of teams that are just standing in line outside of kind of mid-majors, like, man, I really want to play these guys inside of Bud Walton Arena.
And it also comes back to finances and money and the fact that you got to play X number of home games in your non-conference schedule to make your season ticket numbers work out. So it's either go up on ticket price and have fewer games, or make sure you have enough games that you can get your 400 or 450, whatever it is, for the season book now. So it's also about providing enough home games for your season ticket holders. So you can't just play a bunch of teams home and home, or it's probably going to reduce the number of non-conference games that are important from the standpoint of trying to get around 20 or so games at Bud Walton Arena a year.
Scott Nozark texted in. He says, how well do Razorback fans travel to Tennessee? We'll need fan support in Knoxville this weekend. Go Hogs. Tommy, Knoxville is about 10 hours from Fayetteville. It's about 11 hours to Fayetteville. Nashville, 7 hours from Fort Smith. Tack on another 3 to Knoxville. So add another hour from Fayetteville. It's about 11. There's maybe people on the eastern side of the state in Arkansas where it's closer to a, 8-hour drive. I don't know.
You're counting for not sitting still around Forest City somewhere because a tractor trailers ran off the road or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, how many
times you go through from Little Rock to Memphis and there's not a delay? That's a 50-50 proposition every time.
I'm just glad that bridge is back to normal because that was awful when that was going on. So what do you expect? I mean, are we going to see any Razorback support outside of Danielle Musselman and the wives down there, or are we going to see any Razorback red, or is it just going to be white and orange throughout Thompson-Boling Arena?
I mean, how much LSU did you see the other night? How much Kentucky did you see the weekend before? I mean, basketball is just not a sport where hundreds travel. Now, there are cases where a big blue blood that has a big alumni base can fill up an arena, but no, it'll be a few hundred at best that will be in Knoxville, and few just travel for basketball games. So no, you're not going to have some kind of imposing road presence. It'll be parents, it'll be family, it'll be ones that get university tickets, and this is a game where, much like Arkansas tried to fill every seat, Tennessee's trying to do the same thing. They know what's at stake in this ball game for them.
Are there more Arkansas fans in Knoxville this weekend or in Tampa next weekend?
Oh, in Tampa, because you can plan. Not that you can't plan for this, but Tampa's more of a destination that you can go and this time of the year trying to get maybe to some warmer weather. Even though we kind of got some nice stuff going on right now weather-wise, but there are people that plan their vacations and make annual trips to the conference tournament. So you'll see a good representation for Arkansas next week. It won't be on the Kentucky level, but you'll see a good representation.
Spring break is not next week, Tommy, but it's the following week. Is that correct, or is it 2
First
weeks?
week of it starts the 18th, or is that Friday?
So the week the NCAA, or the day after the NCAA tournament starts.
Right. So spring break begins, I guess, technically the next day on the 19th, but that Friday the 18th is when kids get out and they don't return till the 28th. Or at least for my kids in their school, that's what they're doing. I think that's what all the public schools in Arkansas are doing.
Probably the University of Arkansas is doing something similar. I believe that's what my buddy told me that is at the U of A right now. All right, we'll talk more headlines coming up. I want to talk about this Southeastern Louisiana game that I almost said tips off today. The first pitch is today at 3 o'clock, and a couple other headlines, including Traylon Burks, his performance yesterday at the NFL Combine this morning.
Hey, we're brought to you by Williams Tractor. They have moved and even changed their name now. They're at WT Equipment. They have moved from Fayetteville to Springdale, and they're in between the Johnson exit and Don Tyson. So you can see them right there on the east side of I-49. Stop in at WT Equipment and see the all-new location, a great selection of New Holland tractors and much more, plus other great stuff you can have fun on the weekends with, and it's all there for you. Williams Tractor is now WT Equipment in Springdale. Stop in and see him again on I-49 between the Don Tyson and Johnson exits.
We'll start with Burks in his 40 time. Ran a 4.55 unofficial and then a 4.540 for a second. I thought, Tommy, that he was going to get into the 4.4s. I know you were joking about 4.3s, but it didn't happen. It's not the end of the world, but then you have a guy like Tyquan Thornton for Baylor who ran a 4.21 NFL Combine record. He was all over the place for the Baylor Bears this year, and they didn't even have a great quarterback kind of set up for that offense. So I wonder how talented and how successful he could be at the next level. But some of the measurables you list, I mean, Burks, we know about the hands. We know about the catch radius. I read some of the weaknesses. One of the weaknesses, Tommy, was like he tries to make one-handed catches too often. And I can't think of a moment last season where he dropped a one-handed catch. I just remember him sucking those all in. What is something that you think NFL teams are looking at him and just not necessarily concerned with, but they have questions about outside of kind of the injuries that he's dealt with his career?
Probably, I mean, you're talking about the 40 time. I think breakaway speed is still something reasonable to question. I know we point to that Alabama game, and he ran away from the Alabama secondary, but at the NFL, they're all that good or better, and I think that's still one thing that people will question. I think it's ridiculous, though, all this questioning of his commitment to the game, and just because he has hobbies and things outside the game, and he likes to hunt and fish and go hog hunting and some things that might be foreign to a lot of people. I don't understand the questioning of his commitment to football. I mean, that has never made sense to me, and I don't really know where that comes from, Ty.
Well, I do, because I think NFL executives want someone that lives, breathes, and sleeps with the game. And that's not for every single player out there. And I don't know Traylon personally. I don't have this great connection with him. But I do know that Sam Pittman told us preseason, Tommy, that he spent much more time getting ready in the offseason. It was much more focused on football. And you see that level of commitment pick up from when someone comes in as a true freshman, kind of getting acclimated to college football, and then they're changed because he realized that he could be a first-round draft pick, and he's putting the work to get that. And when I say I get it, I don't necessarily get it from like that Traylon, he doesn't care about football. I get it from the perspective of NFL GMs, and that they want to know, because if they're going to draft a first-round guy, Tommy, we've seen misses. You don't want to be the GM. You don't want to be the owner. You don't want to be the coach that is labeled with drafting a certain player that misses. Do I think Burks is that player? Probably not. I think he's going to have a successful NFL career. Do I think he's going to be an all-pro? I think that's a hard ask for a guy that still has a lot of explaining to do and a lot of playing to do at the next level. But I understand them diving in and at least questioning that line, because when you see guys don't live, breathe, and sleep football, not to say he does it, you at least are wondering a little bit. So I don't have an issue with that at all.
So if a guy plays a round of golf and he's now not committed to the game? I mean, if a guy goes bowling, if a guy goes hunting, if a guy goes fishing, he's now not committed. I mean, that seems a bit, extreme. I'm not saying that's what you're saying. I understand why they're coming at that. I just, have you ever looked at Traylon Burks in a game, particularly this last year, and say he wasn't ready to play? He didn't seem like he was physically, prepared for the ball game. He played through a lot of pain and injury this past season. I just think some of this is, you get to the NFL Combine, you get to this point, and they nitpick at the smallest things. Man, look at the way his shoes are tied, and how could he play it? They just get into nitpick stuff that doesn't really matter. I think that's become too much of a side narrative, if you will, or label on Traylon for some reason that just seems a bit unfair to me. But I don't think it's just with him. I think they nitpick everybody that's in this process.
Yeah, they find something that they're at least wondering about, and they pressure point it a little bit. And how Traylon seems like he's handled questions pretty adequately this week, from the interviews I've seen on Pro Football Talk to the media scrum and all that stuff. I've enjoyed listening to him. He seems composed. He seems ready to go. And again, you just look at his measurables himself, you've got to be salivating if you're an NFL GM based on just how he looks as a football player. I like you said, they press on everyone, dude. It's not no one avoids first round, second round, third round, fourth round. Obviously, there's more attention paid to those first couple guys. They're just trying to find something, and if he gets asked about his commitment, then just respond to it. It's just not overlook it, but I don't.
That's part of it.
I don't have a big issue with people doing that, because they ask all these questions. There's always. Every single player that's a first or second rounder, Tommy, there's an issue with them. Some NFL or GM finds, hey, well, this is the wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. Well, then if you're the player, you just respond to it and say, well, this is why this is why that. Or you just prove it in the combine and you prove it on the field. That's people prove people wrong all the time. That's part of it, man. I don't take a lot of stock in that.
Hand size will not be one of the things they point at with Traylon Burks. So it'll be interesting to see, kind of what some of the projections are with Kuiper and McShay and all these folks when we get closer. They're not the gospel, but they, at least from a media standpoint, that's the ones people pay a lot of attention to heading to the draft. But hopefully Burks is a first couple of round guy. I don't see any reason why, with the way he performed in college football's best conference, he won't be somewhere near the top of the board with the wide receivers.
Baseball back in Baum-Walker Stadium this weekend. You're hosting Southeastern Louisiana. Just a reminder, you play in Baum-Walker Stadium for your next 13 games. So if you want to watch some Arkansas baseball before SEC play, this would be a good time to do it. Tommy, I think we have good weather today. I can't say the same about Saturday and Sunday. Based on what I'm looking at the radar right now, 50% chance of rain tomorrow and then 90% chance on Sunday. I don't know if it's exactly during or around the game time. I'm just looking at my Apple iPad or Apple iPhone weather app. I'm hoping that stays away because it's been pretty good weather this week. It's a little cold when we get up in the morning, but when it's afternoon, man, it's 70 degrees. You can't ask for much more right now in March.
No, it's really good March weather, but like I said, rain in the forecast for Fayetteville through Monday. So all you need is about a 3.5 hour window, maybe a little longer with getting the field ready and getting the players ready, maybe a 4-hour window. If you can find a 4-hour window in there to play that game, they'll be able to do it.
Hopefully they do. We were talking about the SEC tournament a little bit earlier, and I want to, again, come back to this. So Arkansas, they beat Tennessee tomorrow. They will play at 5 o'clock here on the SEC network against the winner of Game 5. That would be the 2 seed. Now, if they lose and Kentucky beats Florida on the road, which I expect to happen, they would, again, be the 4 seed, and they would play at 1 o'clock on ESPN Friday. All these games are going to be Friday. You don't play Wednesday. You don't play Thursday. That's the benefit of having a double first-round bye. Tommy, and unless Kentucky somehow loses, I think really the only scenario I see happening is you win tomorrow, you're going to be the 2, or if you lose tomorrow, you're probably going to be the 4, because I guess Florida beat Auburn at home, but I just don't see the Wildcats losing to Colin Castleton and the Gators.
I agree with you, but there is a scenario where Arkansas could be the 1, 2, 3, or 4 seed, right, based on other games and the Arkansas game, win or lose.
I think that's correct.
Right, because if Arkansas won and Auburn lost and they were tied, Arkansas would have the tiebreaker, and they would go into the tournament as the 1 seed and share the regular season title. You just laid out the 2-seed scenario, and if you lose and other things happen, you're the 4 seed. So I mean, that is to me what makes the SEC a little better this year. Is like we said, there's so many things on the line, and I imagine if we focused in a little more on 5 through 8, there's some pretty good scenarios there for what will occur with those teams over this weekend and what happens in those games as well.
A lot of Arkansas Razorbacks fans will be cheering for Frank Martin and the South Carolina Gamecocks this Saturday. They're going to play Auburn. I'm going to pull this doohickey up real quick. But you're going to – I don't know if you'll see Arkansas fans sportings, whatever colors they wear. But, Tommy, they play 1 hour after you do. So once Arkansas plays that game at 11 o'clock, I think a good chunk of them will be – flip it over to the SEC Network to see if Frank Martin and company can pull off the miracle inside the jungle this Saturday.
That would be fun. All right, Clay Henry's going to hop in the conversation coming up. We're brought to you by Wheels RV. Hey, with the temperatures starting to get ready for camping season, get by Wheels RV and let them show you some of their great selections, slide outs, all kinds of great stuff that you can enjoy this year inside your RV. You can take it on the road with your family this year and visit over 50 state parks right here in Arkansas and venture out and see the natural state. Plus, every new unit comes with a lifetime warranty from Wheels RV. They're 5 miles west of Exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
Get Clay's thoughts coming back on this Tennessee game plus Southeastern Louisiana this weekend. Stay with us. It's The Morning Rush.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hey, Jan. Say, is now a good time for a new Toyota?
You bet it is. Now through April 4th is the perfect time to shop for a RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma, Corolla, and more.
Amazing. I was just thinking of a RAV4.
Well, imagine yourself in a RAV4. Where would you go first?
Okay, I've just got my RAV4. I am picking up my friends and going out to lunch to celebrate.
Perfect. A bistro? A deli?
Skinny Al's Barbecue.
Whoa, okay. I love barbecue.
Huh. Well, then you should imagine yourself digging into the best ribs you've ever tasted.
I'm imagining you inviting me.
My imaginary self thought you'd never ask.
Let your imagination run wild at your participating Toyota dealer. Whether you're imagining yourself in a sporty Camry, versatile Highlander, or the spacious Venza, now's the time to ready, set, go get your Toyota today. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Sports fans, sick of the Omicron and the coronavirus? Fed up? You've got the coronavirus blues, but baby, we have the cure. Wash your hands, sign up, and play with BUSR.com. At BUSR.com, you get everything. A casino, racebook, and sportsbook. Play blackjack, roulette, and over 200 casino games. Bet on sports, horses. Want more? How about a 100% deposit bonus exclusively for ESPN Arkansas listeners? Just go to BUSR.com/Morning Rush. That's BUSR.com/Morning Rush. BUSR, the cure for your coronavirus blues.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
When you want beer, you go to a bar. When you want top shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars, in an atmosphere benefiting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites, dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance, and Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren, 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
It's time to get in the game, Fort Smith. Hi, Coach Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I'm a maniac for March basketball, but if I'm going to catch all the games, I need your help. So I've cooked up a 3-point plan to help you rebound from your old ride. 1, pick the perfect car for you from our huge inventory of Rath Road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. 2, pass me your old ride. 3, I'll come in with the assist and give you up to $3,300 more than appraised value. So if your old ride makes you feel second string, slam dunk your junk and start driving better today in a nicer, newer car from Rath Auto Resources. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for spring in our Meineke Car Care Center with a free AC check, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. But hurry, this deal's done at the buzzer. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price determines actual trade allowance. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends March 31st, 2022.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the low to mid 70s. Later on tonight, partly cloudy and overnight low in the low to mid 50s. Now we will increase the chance of some showers and thunderstorms for Saturday, low 70s. More wet and stormy weather for Sunday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by Ramos Roofing, specializing in all roofing needs. 479-420-9903.
You're listening to the Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith.
This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
Going to have their 15th win of the year, Bud Walton Arena. Inbounds to Jalen Williams. It is over. The Razorbacks have outclawed Tennessee today. It was a pure old-fashioned fist fight this afternoon at Bud Walton Arena. The Razorbacks win it.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. We've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
I
hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just got to keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
I think a lot of people were wondering, and deservedly so, how this basketball team would fare when the best players, I think Jalen Williams and J.D. Note, didn't have the best games or maybe were eliminated from the game with fouls. We saw Jalen Williams go out with about 4 or so minutes to go against LSU. J.D. Note only had 12 points, 3 of 12 shooting, and yet Arkansas found a way to win. I want to talk about what Eric Musselman had to say about when some of his best players aren't playing or in foul trouble, how this team has responded and how they might have to tomorrow in Thompson-Boling coming up here on a Fast Break Friday, Tommy.
All right, Clay Henry joins the conversation in just a second. First, let me tell you about APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group. They have immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in Northwest Arkansas, Fort Smith, and in Harrison. So wherever you're listening this morning, they've got a job for you. If you have your CDL license without an automatic restriction, you want to be home at night, work with a top company that gives you great pay, an awesome sign-on bonus, profit sharing at the end of the year, an awesome team environment, and growth opportunities to move up within their company. You can apply today or this weekend online, jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group and APAC Arcola. They are equal opportunity employers.
I mean, one, they have great belief. Two, we feel like, whoever's healthy, whoever's, not in foul trouble, that, somebody's just going to have to step up and take on responsibility if someone's not, in the game. And, we always talk about opportunity. If somebody gets in first half foul trouble or second half foul trouble or fouls out, there's always an opportunity for somebody else. And, right now, I think our players have confidence in each other. And
Clay, there's been a lot of impressive wins to this point in the season, but the way this team was able to find a way to come out with this one with J.D. not having his best offensive performance because he's getting double-teamed, with Jalen getting fouled out and not being able to participate in the final minutes. Wednesday night was just as impressive a win, not necessarily because of the ranking next to LSU's name, but because the things that seemed to be stacked against the Hogs on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I think you have to also point at coaching and you can say this guy stepped up or whatever, but I think the coaching staff, the head coach, puts players in position to do well. And it's pretty clear that they were playing 2.5, 3 men on Tony. And for instance, the last possession, they triple teamed him to stop the ball on the drive, pinned him on the sideline. But here's what happens. Sometimes the other team loses as much as you win. And I thought LSU lost and that they made plays to get you beat. and the smart team won, and the team that was coached the best won. Arkansas did not make critical mistakes down the stretch, other than you kind of feel sorry for him that this happened, but after they had the hook and hold to get the extra possession, Note slipped down trying to make a cut, making one of those sidestep moves. He just that was an unfortunate turnover. But you go down the other end, and LSU has a chance. They're up. They don't have to score, and they had a flurry under the basket. That they had the shot clock off, and all they had to do is just dribble it out. Arkansas would have had to foul them, or they would have run out more time. And then they fouled with 8 seconds left when they had their man pinned on the sideline in a double team, had a triple team on him, about to walk, about to give up the ball, which was the goal, and they fouled him. And I don't mean just, they had their arms vertical. They had a guy hammer down on him, with a slap. And, Tommy, you've refereed, and that's the easiest. When you see a man hammer down from above, that whistle blows every time. And why you foul with a man's back to the basket with 8 seconds left when you're ahead is like the cardinal sin in basketball. And, their coach said we didn't play very smart. I think that's almost being a little kind to them.
They did have a rough ending to the game. You talk about that slip with 40 seconds to go. I thought if you were going to have a mistake like that, or just an unfortunate, I don't know if it was a mistake, it's just unfortunate that Note slipped out there. At least it happened with 40 on the clock and not before the shot clock was, so at least you knew you were going to have a possession on the back end one way or the other, or at least mathematically should. So, but it just seems like, down the stretch, this team never loses confidence, guys, and they always create the break for them to win the ball game.
Yeah, they're a terrific team and fun to watch, and
well coached.
And I think LSU is the more talented team. I mean, it's but then you look at Terry Eason. I guess that's how you say his name. They don't get the most out of him because he's always in foul trouble. I mean, he only played 17 minutes because of 5 fouls. And the way they play, which is a reaching, slapping, hacking defense, is going to get called. I mean, those are the easiest fouls to call when you just hammer down on somebody from an angle. And they continue to do that. I guess it gets some steals, but that's just raw coaching to me. And, I've always said, the sign of a good coach is he beats you with his guys, but he could beat you with their guys too. I guarantee you Musselman could beat Will Wade with his guys.
Yeah.
Switch teams and win by 30.
Yeah, he's talking about Tari Eason. He played, like you said, 17 minutes, 45 seconds, and scored 24 points. I mean, that's and fouled out.
I had no answer for him. Yeah.
I mean, just an unbelievable line. He made all 10 of his free throw attempts, Ty. He got to the line and made them all. So he's a handful. And listen, LSU's going to be a handful for somebody in the SEC tournament. And if you're Arkansas, if you're Tennessee, I don't care, Auburn, Kentucky, nobody wants to see them on maybe like Saturday or Sunday. You just don't want to see them there. And a team like LSU is a team that really needs to probably get to Sunday and cause somebody a problem to not just necessarily get in the tournament. I think they're in, but to secure a higher seed and put themselves in a position to be there the second weekend. Because I think a lot of people believe, guys, that LSU has got the talent, like you're talking about there, Clay, to be in the Sweet 16.
Well, they could lose to Alabama Saturday and be 8-10, and I wonder how they can get in the tournament. With that, I mean,
their net ranking's still 15 or whatever. So.
Yeah, but man, that thing is just screwed up. I don't know how else. I'm interested. We're going to have Dane Bradshaw on at 8, and I want to know what he thinks of the net ranking. I'm sorry, I don't get it. I can't figure it out because that team, with the number of losses that they've had in this conference, and some of their losses, and I know that it has got to have something to do with margin of victory. He played a lot of close games, but dadgum, 10 losses or 9 losses is 9 losses, right?
Yeah, they're 5-7 in quad 1 games. LSU is, so it'll be interesting. Ty, I think when you go to Tampa next week, you're going not just the Arkansas game. I think you're going to be treated to some
good
fun
ones
stuff next week. Yeah, I think it's going to be Going to be a lot of fun. He is going to Tampa. I thought y'all were riding together.
No,
You're not going with him? I thought you were going to drive him down there, Clay.
Clay's just hoping I stay there and don't come back.
No, I don't. I think go to Tampa and then go further away. That's what I would like. I don't want you to – I'm afraid that you'll start back this way and eventually, like, somebody will say, hey, I'll take you back to Fayetteville.
So, going to be a fun week next week, though, and I think LSU is going to be one of those fun teams to watch, guys. So
They should be. All right, 877-377-6963. Let's talk about Traylon Burks and his performance yesterday, plus a former name that you're pretty familiar with, Wingo. Not Ronnie, his younger brother Ryan coming in this weekend.
Just say, Alexa. Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
The phrase in dire straits originated in the 1400s from sailors having to carefully navigate their vessels through narrow passages to avoid a shipwreck. So Far Away from Dire Straits is a song lamenting the struggle of a long-distance relationship over the phone. Mark Knopfler said, "It's a joke. It can't really be done over a long period of time because you both get exhausted with it. Sin has put us in dire straits with God, and that's why he feels so far away." Jesus said the passage to God is a narrow way, and he promised when he went so far away, the Holy Spirit would be here to stay. This isn't some hunch or intuition, but a conviction navigating you to God's holy word. When you have a real relationship with God, you have the person of the Spirit living inside you, guiding your walk of life every step of the way. Don't trust your feelings. Look up John chapter 16 and see if it sends you reeling. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Read about it.
Football might be over this season, but basketball is in full steam for both pros and college hoops. For all the latest odds, totals, player performance props, to where the next fired coach is going to land, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your sports betting needs. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's promo code BLEAV. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline is your source for hockey, boxing, and UFC odds, right to the Olympic coverage, is the best in the business. From sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, BetOnline is your #1 online wagering destination. BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports and play your favorite games. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Combo platters. Make your combo plate any way you want it to be. And don't forget, every Friday night is all-you-can-eat catfish at Art's Barbecue and Burgers. Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith. Real smoked barbecue.
It is here, fast, reliable internet from Wave Rural Connect. Cedarville, Uniontown, Natural Dam, and surrounding areas get fast fiber internet, TV, and phone service from a local provider you can trust based in Ozark, Arkansas. Internet starts at $49.95 a month, TV at $43.99, and phone at $29.95. Order now at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Do it now. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
It's time to get in the game, Fort Smith. Hi, Coach Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I'm a maniac for March basketball, but if I'm going to catch all the games, I need your help. So I've cooked up a 3-point plan to help you rebound from your old ride. 1, pick the perfect car for you from our huge inventory of Rath Road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. 2, pass me your old ride. 3, I'll come in with the assist and give you up to $3,300 more than appraised value. So if your old ride makes you feel second string, slam dunk your junk and start driving better today in a nicer, newer car from Rath Auto Resources. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for spring in our Meineke Car Care Center with a free AC check, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. But hurry, this deal's done at the buzzer. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price determines actual trade allowance. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends March 31st, 2022.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Between the circles, gets a screen from Williams. Left side, back to Jay Will. Pick and pop, 3 is good. Williams with a 3-pointer. Hawks back up by 1.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
Welcome back into the Morning Rush this morning. We are brought to you by Razorback Camper Sales in Hot Springs. They're getting you ready for spring camping season. And whether you go to RazorbackCamperSales.com or you stop by and see them in Hot Springs, you can do it quick, you can do it easy, and you can get on the road. They've been doing it for over 50 years. It's family owned and operated, so you know what you're going to get. You can give them a call at 501-767-3486. That's 501-767-3486. And one of the great things they do, they have an incredible service department. It's the best in the state. And again, they're going to get you ready to get right on the road and get camping this spring. We've had some great weather as of late, so take advantage of it at Razorback Camper Sales in Hot Springs. Guys, let's talk about Traylon Burks a little bit, because I heard Barton Hahn, I heard Kellerman, Jay Williams, and Keyshawn Johnson all spending good amounts of their radio show talking about the Warren native. And here's what Traylon said. He ran a 4.55 40 and a 4.5 40. Here's what he had to say yesterday following that distance.
It's a dream right here. Out here competing with the best of the best. It's basically about going on since I was 10. It's always been a dream.
Well, it's a dream that he is oh so close to accomplishing. As of April, he's going to be drafted to an NFL franchise, and it's only until then that we'll have to kind of wait and see and hold out till where he ends up. Clay, we were discussing in hour number 1, there's been what may be an unfair association with Traylon, that football, he doesn't live, sleeve, and breathe it because he occasionally likes to hog hunt or go fishing or hunt. If you're an NFL GM and you're looking at Traylon from an unbiased perspective, there's a lot of things that you love about him. But if you had to nitpick, if you had to point out 1 or 2 things, like I at least have some questions about him at the next level, what do you think those would be?
Well, when I've watched him practice, it looks like he's full in. So I don't have a lot in the idea that a guy might like to do those kind of things is fine with me. I'm an outdoor type guy. Darren McFadden was a squirrel hunter. I mean, he every chance he got, he went squirrel hunting. But then, he was, a great guy in the weight room, great guy on the practice field. And the film doesn't lie. So I just look at it that he's well-rounded. I don't see those things as, he takes care of his business. I talked to Kendall Briles last spring, and they were really pleased that Treylon had taken care of nutrition, had dropped some pounds, was in better shape, better condition. His cardio was better. I think that rap was probably from his first year, and you have to remember that he was coming off of ACL surgery from his high school, and there were just some things he couldn't do. I mean, he couldn't run all day. That knee would swell. I mean, it's just that's just what happens after ACL surgery. And I think that his last 2 years, of working out, he's done everything that's supposed to. He's been front and center with the nutritionist. I think the NFL guys know that, but the NFL Combine, and I know y'all have talked some about this, and the process that leads up to it. It's like they do not focus on the good that they see. They focus on everything that they can find that might be a wart, and they will find some warts, and some of them are inconsequential. And I focus on your warts, Ty, and there's a lot of them. And seldom do I talk about any of the good that you do. But that's, there's some good that you do. That's not what the Combine is about. They want to pick at you and see if they can take you off center a little bit, see if you can be frustrated, and, then make some more bad check marks like, okay, character, he can't handle criticism because then he can't handle coaching. But they're not really finding a lot of problems with Treylon Burks, in my opinion, and I still think he's going to he sits pretty well through this process.
Well, what you always come back to, and I remember you discussing this, find an off-the-field incident in 3 years at Arkansas. You can't find one. Like,
no,
you can't.
He's solid as a rock.
Yeah, you can't think. There's not a single time
all the way back at Warren.
Yeah,
and I'm sure they've gone to Warren, and if they said they're looking for something bad, those people were going to turn them out.
As Coach Embry, but that's a valuable asset to have in the arsenal. That if you look back, because things happen in college, I would know. I mean, there's several athletes that tell you the same thing. They do stupid stuff. It's the dumbest part of your entire. I say it every single time on this show. The dumbest part of your entire life is probably about the age to 17 to 22. You'll never be stupider than that period of time, in my opinion. And so in that time, when you have so many things on your plate, you don't always make the best decisions. But when it comes to things associated with Treylon Burks' character on or off the field, you can't point to a certain aspect. Like, man, he screwed up here, or he heard about this off the field. There's just not really anything. And if I'm an NFL GM, I know that talent is kind of the biggest thing I'm looking for, but I'm also looking for high character guys that I know are not only going to put the work on the field, but I'm not going to have to worry about issues off the field. And Treylon doesn't seem to have any of those guys.
Yeah, I thought he would run a touch better, and I thought maybe his hands would be measured better. I think that that measurement is thumb to the the tip of your index finger and that kind of little web area. And if you've got really long fingers, that doesn't really matter. His hand size, his hands are huge. It's just that measurement that they take didn't account for that. But I don't think that he's got little hands by any stretch of the imagination. It's that. I've shook his hands, and his fingers come up in the middle of my forearm.
Yeah, I mean,
there's two humans that I've done handshakes with that I was just like, oh my gosh. One of them was Scottie Pippen, and the other is Treylon Burks.
So just. And they talk about the 5X gloves that he wears. That might be the one drawback is, teams like, look at all the money we're going to spend on these receivers' gloves for him to try to get those custom made at 5X. But, talk about motivation and off-the-field stuff. If your head's right, I think nothing will motivate you more than knowing, hey, this isn't college and you can be cut or released and it costs you millions of dollars at any time. I think that's when – the seriousness of the situation and the job you've got and the opportunity you have goes to the next level, and how it can be life-changing money for your family. So there's plenty there in the NFL to get your attention about staying on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tommy, and he's not going to be a problem in the NFL. Nope. And every time somebody says, well, he's not quite this or not quite that, or he doesn't do this, or I'm going to pull out that Alabama tape and says, watch this, guys. And if you don't want him, you are a stupid, and that's as far as I'll go on the air.
So he played well in the games that mattered, and it's just a shame. You go back to look at his career.
Just great players.
Well, I mean, but I was just going to focus in on his first year and how he's so underutilized, and what his career numbers at Arkansas might be had there just not been coaching malpractice in year one.
Well, now wait a minute. And I've heard you talk about that, and I've heard Phil talk about how he wasn't used. Now, you go back to his first year, and he had knee surgery, late in his first year of high school. He's coming off of ACL surgery, wasn't able to really practice that much that summer, wore a brace through much of camp, still trying to get in shape all year. They couldn't use him the way they did the last 2 years. I mean, you just the same thing with Jalen Catalon. I mean, they ended up having surgery again on him in the middle of the year. So that first year, coming off a serious ACL surgery where there was a lot of ligament damage, I don't think that anybody would have got a lot out of him that first year.
Listen to you defend Chad Morris. Wow.
No, I'm not defending Chad Morris. That's a defense of Burks.
Well, my criticism was that the coaching staff are not getting him the ball more. I mean, everything you're saying makes sense, but
no, he could not run 40 routes a game that year. He just couldn't do it.
I just think what was so telling is the first game of the season, the first quarter, he scores a touchdown under Kendall Briles on that rollout that Felipe Franks had to his left side and found Traylon beating. I want to say that was an All-American safety. I think, what's that guy's name? And I'm blanking on it, but I want to say he beat an All-American safety for about a 30 or 40-yard touchdown to open up the season.
Yeah,
and
he beat that guy 3 plays in the first half.
Yeah, I can't think of that. It's going to drive me nuts.
Yeah, the Georgia safety was he was a preseason All-American, but he didn't make All-American that year, and he wasn't drafted high. I think everybody kept looking at that.
Yeah, the play getting beat, but that's what I think what Tommy's pointing to, and the injury aspect. Like, as someone that's had ACL surgery, it takes a while. It didn't just take that initial 6 months. Oh, you're ready to go. It takes about a year. So I understand where you're coming from, Clay, trying to adjust to that. But let me pose you this, because I think Tommy's onto something. If Chad Morris and Joe Craddock were still on staff and that sophomore season, do we really expect that Traylon has the numbers that he did his sophomore year? Because I don't. I think that luckily Kendall Briles and company were there that kind of got things going for him, as in that first quarter against a lethal defense in Georgia. So he's fortunate that those guys came in his sophomore year. You'd love to be there in his freshman year, but that's kind of where I look at where Tommy's coming from.
Yeah, he did have the same wide receiver coach.
Did have
Stepp. Justin Stepp was the same guy that he had the previous 2 years, so he did. He did have the same coach, so that's one thing to look at. But I think without question the arrival of Franks was a big deal for him. I mean there's no doubt in my mind that Franks knew what to do with that kind of a player.
I think KJ followed it up, and they had a chemistry. I didn't understand. Y'all help me out on this. I'm not this incredible guru when it comes to football and diagramming plays, but if you're a defensive coordinator, and I don't care if you're Mike Elko at Texas A&M, I know he's at Duke now, or if you're Missouri's DC, or if you're Alabama, if you're Pete Golding, I didn't understand why they would single him up. Every time every time that he, and I guess that's probably because of KJ's running ability, but every time that he got single coverage, it seemed like KJ just threw it up. I think about the Missouri game, KJ didn't even look. He just got the ball, and he beat that true freshman or whatever, redshirt freshman or whatever it was, for a bomb touchdown. That just didn't make a lick of sense to me why those guys left him open on single. I say leave him open. Single coverage is basically leaving Traylon Burks open.
Yeah, you put the guy in the slot. You got somebody wide. Well, the corner can't help off of that guy, right? And so you've got a nickel on Burks, and you've got a safety behind. And if you double him, they will run the ball until the cows come home. And that's basically what happened against Penn State, because they were playing bracket coverage. Now, Burks wasn't out there, but they still played bracket coverage. And they weren't going to give up the deep pass. And everybody's like, throw it. Well, the run was just laying there to be taken. Mm-hmm. And Ole Miss bracketed Burks, and they were able to run it for 300 yards. Same thing. They single covered Burks one time against Texas A&M. What did he do? He went 85. Well, they moved those safeties, and that opened up the run, and they ran it against Texas A&M pretty darn good. So it's a chess game, and you got a great player in the slot, and it changes the way the safeties have to play. And then you get into the read option, and you never have to worry about an extra guy coming into the box.
Hey, brought to you by Matchstick Studios this morning. How's your business's website look? Is it combine ready? Is it ready to run a 4.3 right now to get your business new leads and new customers? If not, it's time to call our friends Jordan and his crew, big Hog fans. They're over there at Matchstick Studios. They can create your business a great-looking website. So if you're a startup business or maybe your tired, worn-out website just isn't getting the job done anymore, Matchstick Studios can go to work for you, and it's only $95 a month to create this great-looking website with no upfront cost, easy to customize, fully responsive on all devices. So whether it's a Android or Apple, whether it's a cell phone or whether it's a laptop or whether it's a tablet or a desktop, it will look great on any of those devices with built-in support, and again, $95 a month. Call Matchstick Studios today and get started, 479-755-3043. That's 755-3043, or see exactly what we're talking about online at modularorange.com.
In 2004, the Boston Red Sox went down 3-0 against the New York Yankees in the ALCS, and we know that a team in baseball to that point had never come back from that deficit, and the Red Sox did something for the first time in MLB history. Arkansas seems like a team that doesn't really care about past or previous record or streaks that are going against them, i.e. Florida, Kentucky, and some of the other teams they played this season. Well, they're going to have to break another one tomorrow if they want to win this basketball game. Tennessee is undefeated at home this season. We were kind of adding up the stats. Now teams, I think this is correct, 65-1, Kentucky, Auburn, Tennessee, and Arkansas. That's the record that these guys have on at home. Florida is hosting Kentucky. Auburn's hosting South Carolina, and Tennessee hosting Arkansas. So it could either be, Clay, Tommy said this stat earlier, it could either probably be 66-2 or it can be 67-1. You want it to be 66-2 after tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, there's a scenario out there, guys, that you could finish first with the 1 seed, the 2 seed, the 3 seed, or the 4 seed, depending on how all these games work out tomorrow. But, Clay, it's going to be tough sledding going on the road. I mean, Bud Walton's been tough for anyone but Vanderbilt to come in and win. Thompson-Bolin's not going to be easy tomorrow. The record, like Ty just laid out, speaks for itself. Arkansas is not going to be able to just walk into Knoxville and come out with a win.
Very tough to beat a team twice in one season, especially when the second game is on the road. Defense will be the chief point of this game. I mean, both teams are just terrific on defense. I will say that Tennessee plays straight up defense. I don't think you'll see Note being doubled a lot. So I think that he could have a good game. And man, the guy that always plays great on the road is who, Ty? I mean,
Stanley Moody.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like that was almost a stunner how well he played in Bud Walton Wednesday night. That was kind of his breakout home game.
Yeah.
But boy, that guy, I don't know what it is about staying in hotels or whatever, but he's maybe he gets more sleep. I don't know. But he, you'd think that he's a guy that could have a good year, and it seems like Tony is kind of breaking out. But it will be about how they handle those guards, those young Tennessee guards, and the way Tony and Note play against really two quick guards. And I think that has been where Arkansas has really made the big improvement since January. Once they started putting Tony on a point guard, it was a whole different ball game for they were able to get the switches to the big man.
Mm-hmm.
So Arkansas's got to stay out of foul trouble. Jay Will, JD, they've got to avoid foul trouble. Stanley got in foul trouble at Alabama. Those are the things that I look at as being the keys.
Yeah, you talk about the double team that LSU pulled on Note the other night and really walled him up across half court. How much ego comes into that for the opponents? For like Tennessee's best defender, you say you don't think they'll double team him a lot, and they probably won't. But there's someone on that other side that always says, "Coach, I can get him one-on-one." I mean, to me, you're admitting a little bit, hey, we got to double team this guy to stop him. And I imagine that for some guys, Ty and Clay, that's hard to kind of admit to, and it's a tough strategy mentally, I think, for some of these teams.
Yeah, I think Rick Barnes prides themselves in being able to lock down guys man-to-man, and they will play some zone. They're not just completely man-to-man, but I think that, you listen to your guy and say, I got him, I can hold him, but you also know what you got, if he can or he can't. Yeah. And you don't want
the
your
ultimate
guards
compliment,
getting in foul
though.
trouble. And that's the flip side. Can they get Tennessee in foul trouble? Who shoots free throws? And I mean, the difference in the game Wednesday night, Arkansas, LSU made 17 out of 18 free throws, but they just didn't get enough free throws. So who fouls? And I think that both of these teams are really good at not making silly fouls. And JD, every once in a while, he'll make one or two early, but I think he's kind of gotten that message that he cannot be in foul trouble. It's fun to get to this kind of season and play a game that is this meaningful. And I'm not, there can be something crazy happen with Auburn. Maybe they eat too many pancakes or something before the game.
Well, I don't see that happen.
Yeah, things can happen.
Yeah, Ty, you think about that. It would take at least 2 losses on home floors by the top 4 teams for Arkansas to get to that 1 seed. I mean, it's on the board, but I think it's highly unlikely.
Yeah, we had a text in here. William in Jonesboro said that he'd rather see the record be 65-3 than 66-2, based on wanting Auburn to lose. So hopefully you're right, William in Jonesboro. That's a good point by you. Now, Clay, you were asking about net rankings earlier, and I'm kind of in the same category as you and Muss. I don't really understand what's going on. Bob Holt asked him about it yesterday. Here's what Muss had to say about kind of the net ranking and the fines that he's not going to have to worry about.
My wife asked me, can you get fined for saying something about the net? And I'm like, I don't think so, Danielle. And she's like, all right, we'll keep talking about it. But I don't know who could fine you about the net, but it's just one person's opinion, just my opinion. When I look at that stuff and to hear you guys throw stats out like that, I'm speechless.
Tennessee is at 8 right now. Arkansas is now at 22. They were at 21. They're now at 22. I don't know if beating the Vols where that would move you up in the net rankings. I just know that you would have 2 wins over Tennessee, 1 win over Kentucky, 1 win over Auburn, and you sweep an LSU. And if you can't look at the eye test and see that if you're a selection committee member, you probably don't need to be talking and figuring out who are some of the best teams in college basketball if Arkansas goes down there and wins tomorrow.
Well, you just have to feel like at some point there's some sanity in that room that they'll say, all right, this is what the net rankings say, and this is a great data point, but this team beat this team twice. Talking about Arkansas and LSU and Arkansas and Tennessee, and this team beat Kentucky and this team beat Auburn. This team, won 2 games in Kansas City where a team that we like was there but didn't win, Illinois. So they're the hottest team in the country. They've won 2 games in the SEC tournament. Saying that they have, let's assume that. So I guess my point is Arkansas still has to take care of some business so that those guys in that room talk like that.
Yeah. Hey, let me tell you quickly about Gaston's White River Resort, and then we'll come back and do our Fence Man Friday picks. Hey, at Gaston's, they're getting ready for a great spring ahead. Call and make your reservations for your family's time away, whether it's spring break or that summer weekend you're really looking at, or that full week at Gaston's White River Resort. 870-431-5202 is their number at Gaston's White River Resort, and you can see everything online at gastons.com. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is Clint Sterner, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Clay Maxey Auto Group. Making the relationship has been what we've always been about. Can't control the market, but we can control who we are and how we act every day. And we're just going to be really good at being us. It's always been more than just selling cars or servicing them. It's a people business. We're here to take care of the customer. To me, it's important that it's about the relationship, not the transaction. Come visit us today at Clay Maxey Auto Group.
March Madness is here, and Burton Pools and Spas has all the savings you need to make your summer a success. Doughboy Above Ground Pools in-stock select packages, up to $900 off. Cash and carry savings start at $19.95. Ask Burton staff about low-interest financing and payments as low as $87 a month on Doughboy Above Ground Pools. Burton Pools and Spas, making your backyard dreams come true in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
On average, someone wins with a scratch-off game from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery every 1.3 seconds. That means by the time I'm through talking, more than 23 people will cash a winning ticket. And it just might be this one.
The new multiplier tickets are here with top prizes from $5,000 to $500,000. So look for the ticket with the X.
Get your ticket today. It's time to play, scratch, and win. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Elite Roofing is a locally owned roofing contractor. If you're building a new home or maybe need a new roof on your existing home, Elite Roofing can take care of you. Elite Roofing is known for their dependability and reliability. Just ask any of their satisfied customers. They are licensed and insured, and references are available upon request. If you need a roof, call your local roofing contractors. Elite Roofing, 478-8668. That's 478-8668. Elite Roofing, 478-8668.
We will make your life easier. Jody'sAuto.com will pick up your vehicle at your office or home or wherever. Take it to one of our 3 locations in Van Buren and Fort Smith. Perform any service your vehicle will ever need and deliver your vehicle back to you. Hi, Kim Bircher with Jody'sAuto.com. No missing work. No finding a sitter. No sitting in a waiting room. No wasting your precious time that you don't have. Many of our customers tell us, you're saving me money. Pickup and delivery, it's free when you spend $75 and only $10 if less. With our 3 oil change specials, you're going to find adding $10 will mean nothing. And we always have free shuttle service. You bring your vehicle to us and we will take you and pick you up in our vehicle. Honesty and customer service is always our #1 goal. We will make your life much easier. Jody'sAuto.com. JODYSauto.com.
Spring crappie season is not far away, and Jelco Outdoors is stocked up on all the fishing gear you need for the spring season. Timmy Tom jigs, Redneck Rubber, and Bobby Garland baits, K9 fishing line, Todd Huckabee rods, Shimano, Luz, Zebco, and Abu Garcia reels. Just arrived, the all-new JB3 American-made rods. Get ready for spring fishing at Jelco Outdoors, your store for work and the great outdoors. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Farm Credit has been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts. So whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Do you remember the joy you felt as a kid about pizza night? Remember how good it smelled? You could taste it even before you opened the box. And then that first bite. It was so good. Be the supper time savior. Order Jim's Razorback Pizza now. 434-3456. The best pizza in Fort Smith, or it's free.
Jim's Razorback Pizza. Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey. Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas Razorbacks in our championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
JD Notte was named to the Community Service All-SEC team yesterday. He spent time volunteering at the Samaritan Community Center, Potter's House, and the Springdale Community Center. I know a lot of you have paid attention to what the Hunts are doing with the AAC, but I thought it was cool that he has been named to that team with a handful of other SEC players, not only recognizing for what he's done on the court, but off the court, too. Arkansas women's basketball beats Missouri yesterday in Nashville in overtime, 61-52. They'll take on South Carolina and Don Staley's girls today at 12 o'clock. Arkansas softball, Courtney Deifel and company win 6-1 over Missouri State yesterday. You've got baseball back in Baum-Walker Stadium in southeastern Louisiana today at 3 o'clock. Same pitching rotation for the Razorbacks. Better weather. More likely to see some home runs today like you saw on Wednesday night. And last thing on your Hog Update, Ronnie Wingo's younger brother Ryan, who is a 4-star wide receiver out of St. Louis, number 1 player in Missouri, number 2 wide receiver in the country. He's coming up to Fayetteville this week, and he announced that, and everyone remembers this.
Fred, here's Mallett back for the second time. He's got a man wide open. It's Ronnie Wingo, number 20, scoots in for the touchdown, Arkansas.
His younger brother is very, very good, and you would love to have another Wingo on campus on the Arkansas football team. He is in the class of 2024, so he's got a little while before he makes his decision. That's going to do it for your Hog Update. It is brought to you by Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Want to welcome in Sean from the Fence Man this morning. Sounds like, based on what we were talking about during the break, you had a pretty good trip diving and stuff. So what did you say? Think of the biggest fish tank you've ever seen and add 1,000 fish to it down there?
And jump in. A saltwater fish. It's gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful.
Oh.
Now, where did you go? You went to
Bonaire. Bonaire. Little island of Bonaire, yes.
Mm.
It was 3 years in the making to get down there.
All right. So, sound like a good scuba diving trip. Well, we're glad you're back and doing well.
Yes, yes, we are. Thank you very much.
All right, let's get into it. It is our Fence Man Friday picks.
Fenceman Friday Picks. Call the Fenceman for all kinds of fences, controlled access, and custom iron projects. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. We ain't afraid of no work.
All right, so college basketball, as we know, they wait till later in the afternoon, about a day before the lines come out. So I came up with my own. I'll let Tommy, Clay, and Sean either agree or disagree, and we'll adjust accordingly. We've got one Big 12 matchup, which will be pretty fun, and then 3 SEC ones. We'll start with Texas at Kansas in Allen Fieldhouse. Guys, I've got Kansas as a 4-point favorite in this one. Are you guys okay with that line?
Sounds about right.
All right. Tommy, you kick it off then. Is Kansas going to win by 5 or more in Allen Fieldhouse tomorrow?
I can't put horns up, so I'm going horns down. Give me Kansas.
Clay, pretty obvious where I think you're going to go on this one.
Yeah.
Saw them off.
I think we're all going Kansas, all rock chalk tomorrow. Alabama
your line was too easy.
Yeah, Alabama at LSU. I have LSU as a 2-point favorite. Any pushback on that?
No, I think that's LSU needs a bounce back. Alabama needs a bounce back. It's a big game between two teams that lost earlier in the week. So somebody's going 0-2 after Saturday between those two.
Who
That's
is
a good
it?
line.
I got LSU.
Got
You got
LSU,
LSU?
Clay?
I'll take Alabama.
I'm going to go Alabama. I think they're going to come back.
Clay, I think I'm going to leave you on an island. I like Alabama. They got cracked by Texas A&M at home in their final home game of the season. That didn't make a lick of sense. Nate Oates was not happy with his team's effort this week. Kentucky at Florida. I've got Florida as a 5-point underdog at home. I know they beat Auburn, but I expect Kentucky to go in there and get a victory. Am I off, or is that a line that you guys are okay with?
Clay, how you feel about a 5-point line in that game?
I got Florida.
All right. I'll take Kentucky.
Florida.
5-point at home. Sheboy Castleton. I think I'm going to go with Kentucky with you, Tommy. I think that's going to be a great matchup, one of the better big men matchups that we've seen, but I'm going to trust Oscar Sheboy and Kellen Grady and those guys to get it done.
We're about to pull away from these boys.
Let's do it.
Arkansas at Tennessee. The line that I've come up with is Tennessee is a 3-point favorite.
Well, I think they're clearly the favorite at home. I think it's going to be tough sledding for Arkansas tomorrow, but I think it's going to be a lot like the game we saw with Arkansas and LSU. It'll be down to the end. I think Tennessee probably wins on their home floor, but give me Arkansas in 3 points.
Same here, Suey Pig.
Clay?
Ooh, yeah. I think I'm going for the win, Tennessee.
Yeah, I think Tennessee's going to win too tomorrow. Unfortunately, I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't have a good feeling heading into this basketball game. Maybe that changes.
I think that's too many points.
Yeah.
I think it's a 1-point game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're picking Arkansas then?
No, I'm sorry. I think it's going to come down to 1 point with that line. I got Tennessee.
Okay. All right. So you think it's going to be like 4 or 5?
Yeah, I know I'm giving up more than 1 point. I understand that.
Okay, cool. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up. We've got our 4 games. We've all on Kansas. Clay's picking LSU against Alabama. Tommy and I are on Kentucky when they play Florida. And then Clay and I are on Tennessee tomorrow, -3.
It's going to be a fun weekend just watching games, guys. I mean, these are games of consequence and games that matter, and we'll have kind of half an eye over here on Auburn and South Carolina. But, I don't think much is going to happen there. There's a lot of scenarios that could play out over this weekend. Well, Sean, glad you're back. I'm sure somebody got all your work done for you while you were gone and probably hired a full staff. Or are you still needing to hire people this week?
We are still looking to hire some people, yes.
They didn't do everything for you while you were away?
Man, that ice storm just put a massive wrench in our works. We're still trying to recover from that.
But what a good time to be out of town when there's an inch or two of ice on the ground.
Well, I had 2 days in Atlanta waiting to get a clear flight home.
Now you're slogging in the mud, right?
Yeah, believe it or not, we sunk a major piece of equipment yesterday, and it was.
I'm not surprised.
It was a fiasco to get it out. So we are but that's this time of year. We learn to deal with it. We move forward. We do the best we can. So.
All right, so you're still looking for some great people to join the team. They can apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. And I know some people are thinking about getting fencing projects done. Tax returns starting to come in here in the next month or two. They're thinking about how to invest that maybe back in their homes. Now's the time to get you out for a free, no obligations quote, and get that on the books and on the schedule for this summer.
Yes. You need to get in pretty quick, especially if you want to get it done, because our schedule fills up. Like last year, we were 4 to 6 weeks out. That's the reason I'm trying to hire some guys so we can be a little faster with our schedule. But if you're needing a fence, I suggest you get in line now.
If you need a good fence, I'll put it that way.
We do the best we can.
They do. Yep.
Yeah, they do great work. He's being modest here. All right, sign up or apply in person. Get a sign-on bonus today with the fence man. You can apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. And give Sean a call anytime if you're looking for that fencing project, like you said, 782-3936 for the fence man. Sean, good to see you again, and we'll chat with you next Friday when you come in for the next round of picks for the SEC tournament.
Sounds great. I'm excited.
Coming up, Dane Bradshaw, former Tennessee Volunteer, current SEC Network analyst, joins us on the Morning Rush.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hey, Jan. Say, is now a good time for a new Toyota?
You bet it is. Now through April 4th is the perfect time to shop for a RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma, Corolla, and more.
Amazing. I was just thinking of a RAV4.
Well, imagine yourself in a RAV4. Where would you go first?
Okay, I've just got my RAV4. I am picking up my friends and going out to lunch to celebrate.
Perfect. A bistro? A deli?
Skinny Al's Barbecue.
Whoa, okay. I love barbecue.
Huh. Well, then you should imagine yourself digging into the best ribs you've ever tasted.
I'm imagining you inviting me.
My imaginary self thought you'd never ask.
Let your imagination run wild at your participating Toyota dealer. Whether you're imagining yourself in a sporty Camry, versatile Highlander, or the spacious Venza, now's the time to ready, set, go get your Toyota today. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary.
See more and do more in a new 300 Series compact track loader from New Holland. Its industry-leading 360-degree visibility is truly something to see at Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas. With its reverse camera and 8-inch multifunction LCD display, super boom lift technology, rock-solid stability, and redesigned controls, you'll work with greater speed, safety, and precision. Maximum productivity starts with a clear view. Stop by Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas today and see how a new 300 Series compact track loader helps you do more.
It's time to stop searching and start driving. Between February 16th and March 7th, get $70 reward card or virtual account after online submission. With the purchase of 4 new Michelin passenger or light truck tires, including the Michelin Cross Climate 2 tire. See MichelinMan.com for complete details. Offer expires March 7th, 2022. Void where prohibited.
Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith today for quality tires and the best-in-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin and Southern Tire Mart.
Winter is actually a good time to paint. The paint store over here in Van Buren has the most popular colors on large sample boards so you can see the color in your home. Rather do some outside painting? Our low temperature application product allows you to paint down to 35 degrees. It's okay. Experience hometown customer service you won't get at a national brand and get free professional advice from our 34 years of experience. Come see Sue and her team at the paint store in Van Buren. Find us on the internet.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
It's time to get in the game, Fort Smith. Hi, Coach Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I'm a maniac for March basketball, but if I'm going to catch all the games, I need your help. So I've cooked up a 3-point plan to help you rebound from your old ride. 1, pick the perfect car for you from our huge inventory of Rath Road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. 2, pass me your old ride. 3, I'll come in with the assist and give you up to $3,300 more than appraised value. So if your old ride makes you feel second string, slam dunk your junk and start driving better today in a nicer, newer car from Rath Auto Resources. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for spring in our Meineke Car Care Center with a free AC check, half-off brakes, and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. But hurry, this deal's done at the buzzer. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price determines actual trade allowance. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends March 31st, 2022.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Are your real estate investments being properly managed? Are you sending a check or cashing a check each month? If you're tired of your current property managers, then call Trinity Multifamily. Trinity will qualify your tenants and leases, inspect your properties, and take care of maintenance and provide you with web-based access to current financial reports, leases, and pictures of your property. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the low to mid 70s. Later on tonight, partly cloudy and overnight low in the low to mid 50s. Now we will increase the chance of some showers and thunderstorms for Saturday, low 70s. More wet and stormy weather for Sunday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by Ramos Roofing, specializing in all roofing needs. 479-420-9903.
You're listening to The Morning Rush, live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Going to have their 15th win of the year, Bud Walton Arena. Inbounds to Jalen Williams. It is over. The Razorbacks have outclawed Tennessee today. It was a pure old-fashioned fist fight this afternoon. The Razorbacks win it.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous.
That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
I hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just got to keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
It's hour number 3 of the Morning Rush. Fast break Friday. Going to talk some more basketball to kick off this hour with SEC Network analyst Dane Bradshaw and former Tennessee Volunteer. Get his insight from the game in just a sec, Tommy.
Hey, March Madness is arriving right now. Get all your favorite games and online odds and bet the games you want to bet this March at BUSR.com. They've got everything right there in one spot, everything possible online. They've got a sports book. They've got a live casino. They've got a race book, and it's safe and fun and secure. Here's the deal. Get a 100% deposit bonus when you go to BUSR.com/morningrush. You put in 100, they'll match 100. You put in 500, they'll match 500. So you get the deal there. So get that deposit bonus 100% when you sign up now at BUSR.com/morningrush. That's BUSR.com/morningrush. Bet with confidence, bet secure, bet with BUSR.com.
Dane, appreciate you making some time for us this morning. We've seen Arkansas have a high level of success at home, as has Kentucky, as has Auburn, and Tennessee inside of Thompson-Boling Arena is undefeated this season. What type of atmosphere, what type of environment are the Razorbacks and Eric Musselman walking into tomorrow?
Well, a lot of similarities to Bud Walton Arena. It's going to be a checkerboard atmosphere where, like Arkansas, Tennessee has reeled off some big-time wins at home recently. When you think about Auburn, when you think about Kentucky, that's what Arkansas has also done. Even earlier in the year, Tennessee took down Arizona. And so this is and they've got revenge factor. Both these teams are hoping to tie for first in the SEC. If they can win this game, then they're going to turn the TV on and hope Auburn takes an upset to South Carolina. And so all these, I tell you, the Jungle at Auburn, of course, Rupp Arena, Bud Walton Arena, and Thompson-Boling Arena have separated themselves this year, man. It's been great TV. I've had the pleasure of calling some of those games. And so they've brought it, and it's been a big-time home court advantage. And if you used to think at least for me, I'm throwing out a random number, that home court, it gives you about a +6 going into the game. Those 4 places feel like, you walk into the game thinking you're down 10 already.
Dane, one of the guys that has separated himself, at least last week, and at points this season is Kennedy Chandler. And the former number 1 recruit of this past class, number 1 point guard for Rick Barnes, has had some games this season where you just watch him and you're just like, wow. What kind of game do you expect him have? He didn't have a major impact against Arkansas in Game 1. Could he have a bigger impact in Game 2 tomorrow at home?
Yeah, I think he will. I think one thing he'll do too is just be pretty careful not to float in the air. Jalen Williams so good at getting those charges. That's another thing to keep an eye out for. I know Tennessee was not happy the last time, and so if it's a 50-50 call, this time around, is Arkansas going to get the benefit of that? Despite Jalen Williams' great reputation as a defender, I think the complaints are starting to come in like, hey, wait a minute, this dude's getting every whistle. And for Tennessee fans, you got the benefit of that a few years ago. Grant Williams was a big man in the SEC that had a reputation of always getting to the free throw line, kind of like a Scottie Pippen Jr. now. And so the reputation precedes them, but, will the officials start to give maybe a little bit reluctance into giving them the benefit of the doubt each time in? And that really hurt Tennessee last game. They had their top 3 scorers, Josiah Jordan-James, I believe, was also in foul trouble, Santiago Vescovi, and Kennedy Chandler. But Coach Musselman does such a good job with their personnel scattering report that, Tennessee runs all this motion and back cutting, and you got to defend that. The bottom line is when player A has the ball, what does he like to do when he has it in his hands? Left, right, if you cut him off, is he going to give it up or is he going to force it? And Coach Muss has these guys locked in right now, and they're going to need a terrific defensive effort once again.
Dane, I remember last time we talked with you, you were kind of joking about Chris Lofton, how you said your stats were elevated because you were playing with such a lethal shooter and just a great ball player. And I wonder, watching J.D. Note, now I know Chris is probably the better shooter off the bounce and just coming off screens, but I wonder if you see any similarities from your old college teammate and the way that J.D. has been so devastating for opposing teams this season.
No, I can't. Look, 2 great players there, but I think they're both quiet. They're both fearless. They walk the walk more than they talk the talk. 2 low maintenance guys, like J.D. Note, Chris Lofton, needing to bring a whole posse on a recruiting trip and steak dinners and all that other stuff. Just humble kids. But in terms of game type, they want the ball in their hands at the end. But Chris was never a point guard, and that hurt him a little bit. He just wasn't able to bring the ball up the court, initiate the offense. But he's the greatest contested 3-point shooter I've ever seen, and that remains true to this day. Whereas J.D. Note, a little bit more in attack mode and facilitator and all those other things. So outside of that, that's where I would probably leave that at. But I do know that they both want the ball in their hands at the end, and their guys look to them, and they're both really easy guys to cheer for, and almost impossible to have jealousy inside the locker room when they're such likable type personalities.
Dane, this is Clay. When you see what LSU did to take the ball away from Note, they played 2.5 men to him, and it turned some other guys loose. Do you see Rick Barnes doing that in this game Saturday?
Maybe a little bit, but I think that was such a key game for guys like Amude and others to step up and say, hey, if a team's game plan is make the other guys beat you, then we will. And so it didn't really give them, even though they had it down to a 1-possession game, but so did Auburn. Tennessee shot it horribly and still were within striking distance. I don't see that. If anything, what I noticed in that Kentucky game towards the end, J.D. Note was getting so many things all the way to the basket with his right hand, just all the way right. And finally they started trying to force him to the left. It's not that he can't go left, but like a lot of players that are right-handed, you are comfortable going right all the way to the basket. just have a stronger hand. You can finish that way. Whereas if you go left, your tendency is to pull up for the jump shot. J.D. Note is similar in that regard. And so to try to keep Arkansas off the free throw line and try to keep him out of the paint, you just got to try to sit on that right hand a little bit more. Easier said than done with all the screens and the misdirection that he can do and the way they put him in a good position. But to me, it's about where you send him to on the court and where the help is going to be, as opposed to such a blatant double team. Although, can't fault Will Wade for trying something different. Nothing else has worked.
So you're the analyst. The people of Arkansas, including me, have struggled to understand the NET, the net. I need you to explain it for the state of Arkansas. What's going on here?
Oh, man. You're going to put me on the spot because, heck, I don't know. I trust the computer rankings and all those other things. You figure the formulas are there. It's been interesting, too, maybe not just on Arkansas, but, for example, the way Florida beat Auburn, and they were on the first four out, and they only jumped up a couple spots. Like, man, you would have thought that would have given them a little more leeway. But the Arkansas resume, it speaks for itself. I would not be surprised, though, that despite all the rankings, the net, not to dodge your question too much, but the committee's also got to look at that eye test. And while they might not sit there and say they no longer look at your last 5 games, it's the entire body of work, you just can't deny who Arkansas is right now. And they had a 3-4 week window around Christmas time where it's almost like they took an extended Christmas break despite having to play a few games during it. But outside of that, they've been near perfection. And so I think Arkansas is, would be one of those things where maybe Joe Lunardi says, look, that based on the numbers, they're a 5 seed, but come Selection Sunday, they get the last 4 seed or something of that nature.
So we've got a lot of focus on how teams are going to go seeded to the NCAA and the SEC tournament, but just wipe that away and tell me the SEC teams that you think can make say a Sweet 16 run or even a Final Four run. Do we have a team like that this year?
We do. I think that those top 4 teams have separated themselves so well. Here's the tricky part to analyze. You guys may struggle with it too, is the home court has been so great for Auburn, Arkansas, Kentucky, Tennessee, that you get one extreme there. But you also get the extreme of when those teams go on the road, they're playing against these packed houses with a target on their back, and it's bringing the best out of their opponents. So you get that extreme. So I'm anxious to get all these teams on a neutral court. And, like if Arkansas loses to Tennessee, even by double digits on Saturday, my opinion of Arkansas will not decrease in any way. I think they're due a bad game, and I know what kind of environment they're walking into. However, if they win that game, my opinion of them will certainly increase to where instead of Sweet 16, maybe Elite 8, you're like, you know what? Time to commit to the fact that this team is every bit as good as a Final Four team. And so I'm anxious to just get to Tampa, get these guys on a semi-neutral court, which has been compelling basketball in the SEC. When I started with the network, 2014, it was not compelling basketball to the SEC tournament. It was Kentucky, Florida, and you were hoping the third team didn't blow it and get on the outside of the bubble. Now it's no longer just the Kentucky Invitational at the SEC tournament, and Arkansas is a big reason for that.
Well, I'm going to turn it back over to Ty, but I just wanted to tell you that, and I know I speak for some other Arkansas people, that we enjoy having you call the Arkansas games, and we think you do a terrific job, and appreciate you coming on the show with Ty and I today.
Well, I appreciate that too. I know you're the expert, Ty. You got a lot to learn from with Clay there. He's got the experience. You got to look at the seasoned veteran. That's what I do.
I have picked up since I started in this industry back in 2014, Dane. I've got 8 years and semi-working with Clay in some capacity or around that. So I've tried to pick up a thing or two. He gives me a hard time every once in a while, but that's that's part of it.
Well, a little birdie may have teed me up to make a comment like that, but I will never throw my sources on the spot.
Okay. I gotcha.
Sandbagged you.
Yeah.
Man, he just fell right into that, didn't he? Didn't he, Dane?
It's part of being the youngin. You get a little crap, but that's okay. Dane.
Well, when you bring on one of my friends, you gotta know that it's coming.
Well, I did that for you, Clay. I knew you were coming on with us today, so I was like, well, it's Tennessee. Dane's player, SEC Network analyst. It just fits. But Dane, Clay's asked some good questions, and I'll kind of go off his final one, and we'll leave it here with this team, Arkansas. And he asked about the Final Four. Arkansas's best wins this season outside of the LSU road win have come at home. Are you willing to, at this point in time, prior to tomorrow, or maybe you have to kind of wait and see how they fare in Knoxville, or maybe you have to wait and see how they fare in Tampa? Because this team last year I felt like could make a Final Four, but they ran into the best team in college basketball in Baylor, and we don't have that alpha dog this year. Based on what you've seen, based on how this team is as hot as any team in the country, are you willing to say that Arkansas is worthy and has potential to wind up in New Orleans this year?
I am. I think that narrative really was put to rest probably, 3-4 weeks ago. They had won 8 out of 9, I think it was, and it wasn't necessarily about who they were beating, but how they were beating them. And but the true quality wins weren't quite there. But then they beat Auburn, and then they backed that up with Tennessee, Kentucky. And so the proof has been there. And yes, the home court has been a factor, but that doesn't mean that they're not playing great basketball. And I'll tell you, Arkansas, like Tennessee, Kentucky, they're wavering a little bit defensively, but Auburn as well. These teams, what makes them great and what makes me think they can make a long run is the fact that their defense is so good they can withstand these long scoring droughts. I mean, you can, and Arkansas is a great example too of not just that, but when they get down, they don't flinch, and they think they're going to win every close game. And you just got to have that mentality. And these teams have that. They have star power. J.D. Note is a star. Jalen Williams is a star. These guys know their roles. They've got good role players. Devo Davis is now playing much better basketball. They're now better on the court when they are now better when Devo Davis is on the court. That was a concern a month or so ago. It's not anymore. My biggest concern is, like it always is going to be under Coach Musselman, and that's just lack of depth because of the short rotation. Doesn't mean they don't have quality players, but guess what? If Jalen Williams gets called for 2 blocks in the first 5 minutes, that's a problem. And then they're throwing different defense mixes at J.D. Note. That's an issue. And so it's concerns for you could go down a list of concerns of what ifs for every team, but Arkansas certainly has shown the pieces to be a Final Four team.
Well, we'll see if they can end up being that in the next couple of weeks. Dane Bradshaw, SEC Network analyst, former Tennessee Volunteer, kind enough to give us about 15 minutes of his time this morning. Dane, appreciate it, and thanks for ribbing me a little bit this morning, too.
Thanks, Dane.
I need it.
Hey, anytime, guys. You guys just keep learning from Clay there as best you can. Take notes, shadow him as much as you can, and by next year when I'm on this call with you guys, I'm expecting better questions from the young guy.
I'll do my best. I'll do my best. That's the bar has been raised a little bit. The expectations. I could kind of walk in here and muddle through them, but now Clay, Clay Dane has set the bar for me this next time we have him on.
Yeah,
did Dane read the?
No, the check's in the mail, Dane.
Just the way you wrote it.
Yeah, I'll tell Thunder you need a raise.
Jeez. Good stuff.
All right, let's react to that. Let me first tell you about Teeter Motors. Since 1968, Teeter Motors has been there to take care of you and your family with all of your automotive needs. And when you walk into Teeter Motors, it's likely you're going to talk to someone that's been with the dealership for 20 or more years because they have the most experienced sales and service departments that you're going to find anywhere. They're in 3 locations in Malvern, Mena, and in Sheridan. You can walk right in the door and see the owner. Denny Teeter is there. That's the tradition his father carried on for a number of years, and you'll find at Teeter Motors a full lot. That means they can sell at very competitive prices versus the dealers with small inventories who have to raise the prices right now. So stop in, see Denny Teeter and his staff on the Teeter Motors Trail, Malvern, Mena, and in Sheridan, and always online at teetermotors.com. Just remember, the deals are always sweeter at Teeter.
Now, you just brought up a raise, Clay, with Dane and Thunder Thornton. Tommy, do you know what today is?
I just know it's March the 4th. I'm guessing you're going to tell me it's something to benefit you day.
Yeah, it's National Employee Appreciation Day. So on behalf
we
of
appreciate
Clay,
you.
On behalf of Clay and behalf of Drew, I would like to add, and Betty and everyone else that works here at ESPN Arkansas, what have you gotten for us this morning? What are we set to receive from you on National Employee Appreciation Day? I'm very curious to hear this.
I'm going to give you the weekend off. How about that?
The weekend off, man. That is something.
What do I get?
Why has everybody got their hand out? I didn't even know this was a day. I think this is just some time made up.
It's National Employee Appreciation Day.
Drew, you get a weekend away from Ty. I don't know. That couldn't be
go.
anything sweeter than that.
You know what, Drew,
that's the problem with the suits nowadays. All about the numbers, not about the people.
Tommy,
I'll get you the same. I'll tell you what. I'll get you the same thing you got me on Boss's Day. How about that?
Tommy's
They went quiet, didn't they, Clay?
Who is the guy? Vacation. Y'all help me out with this. Chevy Chase and Vacation. What's Griswold? You're Griswold. He's Griswold's boss in Vacation pre-bonus. Drew just carries.
I'll get you Jelly of the Month.
Jelly of the Month Club.
Carries
Jelly of the Month's pretty good deal. That peach month is really good. I hear that peach jelly.
Drew, you think?
Hey, if you boys can get here to Norfolk in 30 minutes, I'll fix apple pancakes for y'all.
I like apple pancakes. That actually sounds pretty good. You know, Drew, as much time and effort and as you, Phil, Zach, Derek, and everyone else at ESPN Arkansas does, you would think the leader and commander of this station would take the time out of his day to appreciate and give credit to the people that make his job easier. But I guess that's just not on the cards. He's got other things on his mind.
You know, the thing, I would be fine
talking,
without having a gift that was
he's
monetized.
is what he's doing.
Yeah, he is.
But a well-thought-out, nice card of good job, you're doing a great thing, that would go so much farther
Maybe
than
some
any
snacks,
gift you could give.
something like that. You
The well-thought-out card.
You just don't have that these days. Like their generation, Drew, they just don't understand the value and the meaning of a handwritten note that our generation has really taken apart.
They're too busy on their phones.
I think they're
nowadays.
asking for a pink
That
slip.
is taken it upon
note.
itself over the years to whenever a gift or anything of note is given to make sure to write that out and mail it and sign it. That's just something that they're just not going to understand this morning, Drew. We're going to have to teach them the next couple years that we're here.
Ty, we literally show up before the sun rises, and we don't go home until after the sun sets. I don't know.
Now, that second part is a complete fabrication.
part of keeping the lights around here. Just got to do what we got to do. Part of it, man.
Hey, y'all both do with the online banking thing, right?
Yeah.
Open that app during the break and tell me if you got your thank you today. So.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Never mind.
That's been payday.
Let's keep those things rolling
payday.
twice a month, right?
Yeah.
I want y'all both to take turns today and go in there. Tommy's not there. He's off refereeing. Go in there and sit in Tommy's chair and realize what it feels like to be the stud of the building.
Yeah, I'll trade with you.
Let's get a little more calls that might come in my way. 877-377.
Charge your phone up.
Yeah, a little bit. All right, we'll go to Oaklawn next. Stay with us. It's The Morning Rush.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
This is Tony Bua, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hey, Jan. Say, is now a good time for a new Toyota?
You bet it is. Now through April 4th is the perfect time to shop for a RAV4, Tundra, Tacoma, Corolla, and more.
Amazing. I was just thinking of a RAV4.
Well, imagine yourself in a RAV4. Where would you go first?
Okay, I've just got my RAV4. I am picking up my friends and going out to lunch to celebrate.
Perfect. A bistro? A deli?
Skinny Al's Barbecue.
Whoa, okay. I love barbecue.
Huh. Well, then you should imagine yourself digging into the best ribs you've ever tasted.
I'm imagining you inviting me.
My imaginary self thought you'd never ask.
Let your imagination run wild at your participating Toyota dealer. Whether you're imagining yourself in a sporty Camry, versatile Highlander, or the spacious Venza, now's the time to ready, set, go get your Toyota today. Toyota, let's go places. Dealer inventory may vary.
The temperatures may be cooling down, but at Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas, the deals are still red hot. Whether you are enjoying one of over 50 state parks or tailgating with your favorite team, Wheels has the right RV to help you enjoy fall in the natural state. And at Wheels RV, every new unit comes with a lifetime warranty. So get out to Wheels and see why they were voted best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
Doe's Eat Place, serving award-winning steaks, has now added lobster tail and salmon to the menu. You can also enjoy delicious appetizers along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Call 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
I've never been scared to stay by myself, but we've been talking, and as much as the kids are at home alone and John's out of town on business, we thought it was time for a security system. Guardtronic came out and walked through our home for a free estimate. He pointed out a couple of ideas I hadn't thought of. The licensed technicians were really knowledgeable and courteous. They explained exactly how to use our system. Now I understand how Guardtronic has been in business for over 60 years. Give Guardtronic a call today, 800-542-7866. That's 800-542-7866.
Fast, reliable, local. 3 reasons to choose Dobson Fiber for your business internet and phone needs. Why is Dobson better? Because we're an all-fiber network, 100%. The Dobson network includes over 4,900 miles of fiber optic cable. And because we're all fiber, we have over 99% uptime. Come work with real local people. We've lived and worked in the communities we've served for 85 years. Choose Dobson Fiber for your business today. Visit us at dobson.net.
For a limited time, Art's Barbecue and Burgers is serving up some great combo platters with all your favorite choices from Art's. Ribs and brisket, catfish and brisket, pulled pork and brisket, plus catfish and ribs. And you can add a hot link, sausage, or 2 tamales to any of the combo platters. Make your combo plate any way you want it to be. And don't forget, every Friday night is all-you-can-eat catfish at Art's. Art's Barbecue and Burgers, Rogers Avenue next to Buddy's in Fort Smith. Real smoked barbecue.
Let Carco Car Sales, formerly Hertz Car Sales, show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car. Carco Auto Sales has been serving the River Valley in eastern Oklahoma for over 40 years and believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating people right. The friendly and knowledgeable staff is here to help you find the car you deserve, priced right to fit your budget, so you can leave with a peace of mind knowing that you are getting a quality, well-maintained vehicle. Come see the team at Carco Auto Sales, formerly Hertz Car Sales, at 2810 Midland Boulevard today. Give them a call at 783-1722 or check them out at buyfromcarco.com. Carco Auto Sales, when you're ready.
Inventory shortage? Not here. Wheeler Power Sports has its own showroom packed with brand new units. They have a great selection of Kawasaki bikes featuring the Ninja Z900, the KLR 650, and the Ninja 400. Wheeler Power Sports has everyone covered for all ages and all the gear and protection to keep them safe. Looking for that side-by-side or ATV for this spring? Wheeler Power Sports has the best in-stock selection in the area, and they can special order to fulfill your need. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Williams with a basketball, right of the circle, underneath Tony. Kick out, Note, one dribble, step back, three-pointer good. Note with a huge bucket, he's got 20. Hogs are up by 4 with a minute to play.
Watch The Morning Rush on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Just search Hit That Line.
Well, another big sports weekend coming up. Arkansas headed to Tennessee. It's a big weekend at Oaklawn. We're going to take a look at the racing card there this weekend in just a minute with Lang Whitman. We'll talk to him in just a few moments. It's a big weekend to start the month at Rath Auto Resources. First weekend of the month, and Larry, I know you're already pressing. I bet you already feel like you're behind already on the fourth day of the month.
I tell you what, Tommy, if you ever get tired of this gig you're doing, I've got a place for you. You got all the right stuff to be a great sales manager. Yeah, we feel like we're behind. We got to get off to a fast start here. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath, Mitsubishi, and Springdale, and there's ways to do that, and we're pulling all the levers. We lowered a bunch of prices just this week, folks. That hasn't happened in a couple of years. What great news for the consumer. Got some prices going down. The interest rates are still low, and we've got a huge inventory, cars and trucks and SUVs. They're every one of them Rath Road ready, and that means they've been hand-picked. They've been run through our Meineke Car Care Center for a complete inspection. We do all the repairs. We do the maintenance. And then, we use this live market value pricing to make sure that you don't pay too much. You literally cannot pay too much for a car at Rath Auto Resources or Rath Mitsubishi. Just pick the one you like. Let one of our friendly non-commissioned solution specialists worry about all the details, your payoff and your financing. When all of that works for you, it fits your price and payment, and it fits your budget. That's when you say yes and you start driving better and something nicer and newer from Rath Auto Resources. The big spring sales event is going on now for the Mitsubishis at Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale, and we've got a selection of those, and that's another thing that hasn't happened in a while. We've got the new Eclipse Cross, which is just a terrific vehicle. I know that that's not on everybody's radar, but folks, before you buy an SUV, check out that Eclipse Cross. Great-looking car, and what a value right now at Rath Mitsubishi. We've also got the little Mirages. That car starts under $20,000, and, it's cheaper than most used cars, and that's a really great way to save yourself some money on gas and on your monthly payment. So we've got some great solutions for you folks, cars and trucks and SUVs, and great service after the sale in the Meineke Car Care Center. It really is going to be a big weekend. We hope you'll come and see us and start driving better now. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Check us out online at rathauto.com.
All right, Rath Auto Resources, Fort Smith and in Springdale. Larry, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one. Folks, come see us.
All right, that's Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources. Let's get ready to go to Hot Springs to the races this weekend, as Lang Whitman always gives us some advice, maybe some picks, a little insight what's going on. Our update from Oaklawn, always brought to you by Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford, and by Brothers Roofing. Lang, good morning. I know another big weekend as we get ready, and now we're down to kind of the final few weekends here as we get ready for the Arkansas Derby next month.
I'll tell you what, Tommy, we are exactly halfway in the racing days at Oaklawn this year. There's 33 days down, 32 days to go. So while we're wrapping up college basketball, getting ready to hit these tournaments coming up, Oaklawn is just getting ready to hit its stride.
All right, so who's the leading trainers and jockeys as we've hit the halfway mark?
Steve Asmussen continues to lead the trainer standings with 27 wins. We've had a change at the top of the jockey standings now. Francisco Arrieta has taken the lead over Ricardo Santana with 35 wins, so that looks like it's going to be a battle between those two guys to the end of the meet to see who wins the title.
Hey, before we get to some of the big races on Saturday, the infield will be open, and I know we're going to have some beautiful weather for this weekend. They have really expanded and upgraded. I know that's going to be one of the fan favorite places to be as we get closer to the Arkansas Derby, is being on that newly renovated infield at Oaklawn.
Yeah, looking forward to being over there. I'm not positive I'll be there tomorrow, but in the coming weekends, the infield will be open on Saturdays, weather permitting, from now to the end of the meet, which is May 8th. And that's always a big time. I like seeing the younger people over there. There's little kids running around to have little bounce houses and stuff for your kids to play in, face painting and stuff like that. Then you have the obviously the stuff for the adults over there too, with the beer gardens and stuff like that. So it's a big time.
All right, so Saturday there are 2 Arkansas-bred stakes races. This will kind of highlight the card tomorrow.
Yes, there's 2. One's called the Down the Dusty Road Stakes. Those are for the girls at 6 furlongs for $150,000. For the boys at 6 furlongs, also for $150,000. We have the No Double Breeders' Cup. In the girls' version, Connie K and Kaboom Baby look to be 2 of the main attractions in that race. While in the boys' division, Tempt Fate and Gar Hole seem to be 2 of the top contenders. Scott Blair and myself go into detail on both of these races on our podcast, The Horse Right Here, on Hit That Line podcast. So check that out if you want more detail on that race, those races. Or we also talk about a couple of the big Kentucky Derby preps at Santa Anita and Gulfstream this weekend.
All right, so you can check that out. All right, you always give us a big pick of the day, kind of a long shot to maybe work through, and you've been pretty successful getting these guys on the board. Give us your long shot or your pick of the day today.
Well, I'm going to give you a horse in the second race, and after the second race is over, I might be asking myself why I did this. But my pick in the second race today is a horse number 10 called Tiger Moon. He's 9-2 on the morning line, and in his career, he's ran 6 times, and he's never ran in the money. Now, why is he my pick? Well, he ran his last race. He ran what I think was the best race of his career, and he came in 4th at the maiden claiming level of $30,000. He drops down 2 levels today to maiden claiming $10,000. I think you'll see some improvement with the lesser competition. He keeps Ricardo Santana in the saddle, and I think that also could be a key move here for trainer Federico Villafranco. The top competition to Tiger Moon in this race is the favorite, number 8, Knievel. So playing exacta maybe with the 8 and the 10.
Hey, we got to leave it right there. We're up against the clock. Appreciate it. And you can get all those picks at the Railbird 333. We'll tell you about Brothers Roofing coming up before we get out of here this morning. As that's our Oaklawn update, brought to you by Brothers Roofing in Calico County off Rogers Avenue behind Randall Ford.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from Tuning.
This is Jarius Wright, and you listen to the Morning Rush.
Get a free furnace when you purchase a Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
The phrase in dire straits originated in the 1400s from sailors having to carefully navigate their vessels through narrow passages to avoid a shipwreck. So Far Away from Dire Straits is a song lamenting the struggle of a long-distance relationship over the phone. Mark Knopfler said, "It's a joke. It can't really be done over a long period of time because you both get exhausted with it. Sin has put us in dire straits with God, and that's why he feels so far away." Jesus said the passage to God is a narrow way, and he promised when he went so far away, the Holy Spirit would be here to stay. This isn't some hunch or intuition, but a conviction navigating you to God's holy word. When you have a real relationship with God, you have the person of the Spirit living inside you, guiding your walk of life every step of the way. Don't trust your feelings. Look up John chapter 16 and see if it sends you reeling. I'm Pastor Eve from Woodland. Read about it.
Football might be over this season, but basketball is in full steam for both pros and college hoops. For all the latest odds, totals, player performance props, to where the next fired coach is going to land, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your sports betting needs. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's promo code BLEAV. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline is your source for hockey, boxing, and UFC odds, right to the Olympic coverage, is the best in the business. From sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, BetOnline is your #1 online wagering destination. BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports and play your favorite games. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Is an equal opportunity lender.
March is here at Frank Rowe Furniture, and it's my birthday month. Since it's my birthday month, I'm having a big sale with hundreds of dollars off savings on furniture. Not only are we offering big savings, you won't pay a dime on sales tax. That's right, no sales tax on cash or finance prices. I'm not done. We are knocking off $25 on all deliveries. In-store no credit check financing, family owned and service after the sale. Frank Rowe Furniture. Best seats in the house.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
You have a job, kids, and a million things to do in no time, and now your car needs to be serviced or fixed or tires? Jody'sAuto.com will make your life easier. Free shuttle service. Pickup delivery service free when you spend $75 and only $10 if less. Jody'sAuto.com will make your life easier and take better care of your vehicle at the same time. Hi, Kim Bircher. See, the thing is, Jody'sAuto.com does everything. Everyday oil change specials, tires are price matched, including the warehouse clubs and all the best brands. Any services, brakes, alignments, all the way to engines, and any maintenance. You are trusting your vehicle to a local company in business for 37 years. Voted best of the best time and time again. Honesty and customer service is always our #1 goal. We will make your life much easier. Jody'sAuto.com, JODYS Auto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Ashley Air. Keeping your home comfortable is what they do best. Trust them with your heating and cooling needs. Go to AshleyAir.com to request service today.
Arkansas and Tennessee, that's going to be the game that everyone's going to be watching tomorrow. But you might also be paying attention to when South Carolina travels to the jungle to take on Auburn. You don't think that Frank Martin's team's got a chance to win this game. They probably don't, but if they do, you win tomorrow, you're tied for the first place, and you'll share a regular season title. Alabama's going down to LSU to take on the Tigers. The Kentucky Wildcats are going down to Florida to take on the Gators. Georgia's taking on Missouri. Vanderbilt taking on Ole Miss. And Mississippi State taking on Texas A&M. You also have some good other matchups. Kansas and Texas playing each other. Guys, any interest in I know it's an SEC update, but any interest in Coach K's final home game against the Tar Heels in Cameron Indoor? Is that something you guys are going to be spending some time on, or does that not really hit your radar at all?
I mean, Clay and I got tickets. We're flying over to see that. So, yeah, we're interested. We're going to the game. So,
I want to tell you that does nothing for me. I'm not a Coach K guy. I've seen him up close and personal a couple of times, and I mean he's kind of an arrogant
he's a tool.
Whatever word you want to insert in there, and I give him his due. He's a great basketball coach, but I would not enjoy spending an evening with him. And
What would be the greatest thing ever is if those two teams played in the NCAA tournament and Arkansas just sent him home packing. Retirement, out the door, see you later, 3-1 record against the Blue Devils. That would just be, and I say the Blue Devils, 3-1 record against Coach K. That would just be the greatest. I would rather have that than Arkansas go to a Final Four. If they could beat Duke in a Sweet 16 game and beat Coach K and send him off, that would be just perfect for Razorback basketball.
What'd you say tickets were, like $5,000 a piece to get into this game? I mean,
Tommy,
it's just outrageous. So.
Like Super Bowl prices.
Yeah, Super Bowl prices to go see this. But, yeah, I'm interested in it, but I'm always interested in Tom Brady's last game. And when Belichick plays his or coaches his last one, or Saban, I mean, this is greatness. I mean, I'm sure I don't remember the end of the John Wooden era, but I'm sure this is in some ways a similar feel. Not quite the same, but in some ways it's that noteworthy.
What I won't ever forget this, and Bo Mattingly, who I did a lot of radio with, and Ty, you spent some time working with that project that Bo had going for, and I think it was they had maybe it was a holiday basketball tournament at Bud Walton, and all the coaches were coming in to see 2 or 3 players. I can't remember what players they were, but he was there. And Bo was in the parking lot, and he would just walk with these coaches, whether it be Roy Williams or, Billy Tubbs or whoever they were, and just kind of walk with them to the door and get maybe a minute interview. And he was going to put together a little show, the next week with, kind of string those interviews together. And the only one that wouldn't talk to him was Krzyzewski. And Bo walked with him, and he finally turned and he goes, "I don't know what I have to tell you, but this isn't happening." Something like that. And I thought, well, what a jerk. It's like it wasn't going to – he didn't ask him to stop. He just walk with you, get like 1 or 2 minutes of sound, right? And Krzyzewski's like, I don't know what I have to say, but this is not happening.
That was the Bob Knight coming out in him. So.
I think he's worse than Knight. I mean, I've seen Knight. Knight has that little gruffness to him, but then he melts and – turns into a different guy. Now, I mean, not to everybody. There's some people he's not going to talk to. But I've had some really neat conversations with Knight.
Yeah. So I guess that's a no for Clay. He's out.
Yeah, that was a definite no.
That was a long way to say no. He's out on that deal.
Well, I mean, I wanted to back it up is why.
I understand. I'm just messing with you.
Maybe if you're going to Tampa next week like I am, you have interest on how much tickets are going for. The SEC put this out yesterday. You can purchase them online at secsports.com or at Ticketmasters. All session tickets are available for $300 and $250. The Wednesday games are $15. The Thursday sessions are $20, and then it's $55 for each session of Friday's quarterfinal, $70 for the semifinals, and then $65 for the Sunday championship. Now, for the students out there listening, I don't know if this is still a thing, and I don't know what Amalie Arena's policy are, but in Bridgestone in Nashville, you could get a student ticket for $10 right behind the goal. We did that in both 2017 and 2015, and it was awesome. I don't know if this team's going to make the SEC championship or not, or how far they're going to go. But I mean, is this when you hear those prices? Are y'all okay with those ticket prices? Are they a little too high? Are they about where you thought they were? What do you think of these ticket prices down there at Amalie Arena, guys?
I think you could buy the whole tournament, a ticket to every game. I think was $450 a while back. That's probably some more premium seating, but these early round games, I mean, really till you get to the semifinals and the final, which Arkansas doesn't play till Friday, there's a lot of available tickets. You can buy a lot on the sidewalk, is my experience at these conference tournaments. It's been a long time since Reunion Arena. Those were always hard tickets to see an Arkansas game, but Clay, if you really want to go see any other game back in the Southwest Conference days, you could. When I've been to Nashville or any of the other SEC tournaments, if you want to get a ticket to go watch just about any game except Kentucky, you generally could get in the door somehow.
Yeah, I think my take on all of this is that there was a time when you couldn't make me go sit through all these games, but the SEC basketball tournament has really increased in kind of validity because all the teams have kind of doubled down on hiring coaches and the recruiting is the best that it's ever been. You're going to see good players. Sorry, I sneezed.
Bless you.
Bless you. Gesundheit.
Yeah, so I think that it's a lot of fun. I'm not driving to Tampa. I'm glad that Ty is, and we'll get the front row seat from Ty, right?
I'll do my best. I plan on kind of like you're saying, Clay. SEC basketball outside of Kentucky and Florida used to be like nails on a chalkboard, but when you've got some teams and some coaches that have been far in the tournament recently, it's fun to watch. And Wednesday's games, they won't be as entertaining, but I think you're going to see some dogfights on Thursday. And then Friday, if Arkansas, Kentucky, Auburn, and Tennessee think they're just going to waltz into the semifinals, those top 4 seeds, I've got another thing coming because these SEC teams that absolutely have to claw their way to a bid, they've got to win a couple games, a game or two in the SEC tournament. They're going to be gunning for these guys. I'm excited about next week. I think it's going to be a fun time. Hoping some Arkansas fans make the trip. It is kind of a bummer that you just were in Tampa for the Outback Bowl, and now that's back where the tournament is. I don't think we'll see as many Arkansas fans as maybe we would have if Arkansas had gone somewhere else, but maybe I'm wrong on that. We will have to wait and see.
Yeah, I want you to go spend some of Tommy's money while he's down there. Go to Conch Republic.
Conch Republic.
Conch Republic.
Yep,
That,
it'll be worth
is
it.
that what I think it is?
It's a restaurant.
Okay, I was thinking
restaurant.
I was thinking of something else that you were encouraging me to spend down there.
No, it's a seafood restaurant. It'll be good.
They got some of those though. I hear they have some of those in Tampa too.
What you're referring to, Tommy, I hate those things. So you don't have to worry about me trying to expense what we're talking.
It's hard to get a receipt in a place.
Yeah,
no, this is just good. This is just good seafood. They make shrimp about 30 ways. Yeah.
I bet there's some shrimp at that other place too, Tommy. What do you want to bet on the buffet?
Well, I don't know. So I'll let you report back on that.
I'll do my best. Eric Musselman talked about his sling a little bit. I know Bob Holt has had a field day asking him about questions with his sling, and here's what he said in response to that during the press conference.
I mean, it felt a lot better to not be restricted. In all honesty, I mean, I'm just glad we've won because it has been trouble. I mean, it's not fun coaching in a sling and trying to sit down and get up and down. And so it was awesome not having the sling. Having said that, the first 2 weeks of rehab aren't fun either.
I can imagine, or I say I can imagine, I can't imagine how excruciatingly painful rehab must be for him dealing with that. I've been told shoulder things, and knock on wood, I've not had anything devastating happen to my shoulders at this point. Had knee surgery, but guys, that is to do that in the midst of coaching Division I college basketball on an already tight-packed schedule. I know that must be very frustrating for him, but at least this sling's off, and at least he can see the light at the end of the tunnel at this point.
My buddy Lewis Campbell got his sling off yesterday from the same surgery. I talked to him a lot with Lewis, and he says he's had both knee replaced, one of them twice, and he says on a scale of 1 to 10, the pain, for knee replacement is like a 5. And I said, well, what's the shoulder? And he says, that's a 12. Mm-hmm. I said, no, 1 to 10. He goes, yeah, that's a 12.
Yeah, I hear it's bad news, and you got to stay. I got a great close friend of mine whose wife had shoulder surgery this week and went better than expected. It wasn't as bad when they got in there, but sleeping in the recliner, managing the pain, getting ahead of it, that's the key. Lance here that works with us at our office, he had it done and didn't get ahead of the pain when it came out of surgery, the pain management, and he said it felt like someone had a torch on his shoulder for like 2 hours. Ugh.
Not fun. Well, that's going to do it for your Hog update, Tommy, and your SEC update, and it is brought to you by Ashley Air.
Yeah, Ashley Air right now has a free furnace for you when you purchase a qualifying new system from Ashley Air, and no down payment, no interest for 72 months on qualifying systems, and you get the Ashley Air Quality Assurance Guarantee, their 12-year parts and labor warranty. There's still time to get your free furnace when you purchase a new system from Ashley Air. Just go to AshleyAir.com to schedule your appointment. That's AshleyAir.com. Proud sponsors of Razorback Athletics.
Each of you give me about 20 seconds on this. Arkansas pulls the upset tomorrow, Clay, if what happens?
Yeah, I'm going to say we don't have any foul trouble for the 3 key players who I think is Note, Williams, and Umude.
Tommy, Arkansas
wins if J.D. Note and Jalen Williams combine for 43 points.
Where'd you come up with 43?
Because I think that's the number they need to put together. They both need to be well into double-double category for Jalen. And you could see, I might tack onto that Note having 5 assists to go along with that. But I think that's the number you win. Is a low-scoring game the last time. If they can dominate the scoring, if they get 43 combined, the team's probably going to score close to 60. I think that will beat Tennessee.
Arkansas turnovers to a minimum.
Yeah, Tennessee gets after you defensively. Tennessee is the 3rd best team in college basketball on efficiency. I think Arkansas has now made it within the top 10. Maybe they're still within the top 15, but they've been rising. I think you need, Clay, you mentioned it to me earlier, Stanley Amude needs to have one of those road games, man. And he had 2 great home games. He hit 3 triples against Kentucky and then dropped 20-plus on LSU. Can you parlay that? Can you move those 2 games and have a similar performance tomorrow against the Tennessee Volunteers? If he has 20-plus, I think Arkansas has a good chance to win tomorrow. But we'll have it for you. Pregame coverage beginning 10:30 right here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. For Drew Barrett, Clay Henry, and Tommy Kraft, I'm Ty Richardson. We'll see what happens in Knoxville tomorrow.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license with